2. The Mavericks in San Antonio have shot 36% from the field and 33% from beyond the arc, and along with Kenny Smith. By the way, this game is so big, right, that they've let Kenny
out the studio, baby,
to be here in Dallas.
It is action-packed here. These people are going crazy.
What are the Mavs going to do?
Well, if you're the Mags, you really have to decide what style you're going to play into. You're either going to play a slow-down game, and you're going to walk it up and try to see if those big giants on the other end, David Robinson and Tim Duncan, are going to have big nights, or you're going to get in an up-tempo game. But if you do that, go into an up-tempo game, you got two of the best running big men in basketball, so it might not be a good idea because then you're going to lose them on double teams. So you don't have an answer if you're really the Mags. You just got to play out of your mind.
Well, they hope that Dirk Nowitzki plays better. That could be a problem. He's been sick all day. Mark Morgan, what's the latest?
Bob, late last night, Dirk Nowitzki had a steak dinner, and apparently he has paid dearly for it. He started throwing up in the wee hours of the morning. He's been wiped out all day long, suffering from symptoms of food poisoning. He missed the Mavericks shoot-around. A doctor, the team doctor, went to his house and gave him some medication, which totally knocked him out. He slept 6 straight hours. He's been so sick today, the only thing that Nowitzki has been able to eat, he ate some crackers and sipped some Sprite. Now, he arrived here at Reunion Arena about an hour and 45 minutes prior to the game. He went straight into the locker room, straight onto the trainer's table, where he got some glucose through an IV to boost his electrolytes, given that he's eaten virtually nothing all day long. He did not speak to the media, but Mavericks officials tell me that he will start, and Nowitzki told them that he feels about 75 or 80%. Obviously, Bob, in a game of this magnitude, the Mavs will need all of Nowitzki and maybe then some.
Jet, now the question obviously is, with Nowitzki out, if he's out, what does Don Nelson do to replace the 7-foot shooter?
Well, he's so versatile, it's going to be hard to replace him. But well, we used to call this maybe Tim Duncanitis. He might have got sick because of Tim Duncan. But no, actually, if he's playing at half strength, I don't think that's going to really affect the Mavs as much as you would think it is, because then you could still run your normal sets. But if he's not playing at all, then you have to come in with guys like Howard Isley. And we talked to Don Nelson earlier. You might even see Wang Zhizhi. Yeah. So you're going to see different people in different lineups.
Now, Derek Anderson is out from the Spurs, got hurt in game 1 with a hard foul from Juwan Howard. They said they're going to have to find some backup support, and the Spurs found it in game number 1.
Well, they have a great situation, because if you play with David Robinson, you play with Tim Duncan, you're going to get great opportunity because these guys create so much attention. So now, when they get double teamed or someone comes to the basket, you're going to be able to get wide open looks. Terry Porter, Avery Johnson, Steve Kerr, these guys have a great and an easy job that I used to love when I was in Houston playing with Akeem, because it's the easiest three-pointers that you'll ever see in your life.
All right, Kenny, looks like a good one. Button up your
I'm ready. I'm out the studio. Ernie and Charles, I know you hate me now.
I got him now. He may not ever be back. Right after this, however, we'll be going back to our studios in Atlanta. Then the tip-off from Big D.
CNN Sports Illustrated, the sports network more people are switching to. Call your cable or satellite provider.
Now batting, Jackie Robinson.
It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, fails while daring greatly, so that he shall never be with those timid souls who know neither victory or defeat.
Honey, did you get paper plates? You got ice, right?
Short trips really beat up your engine, but Pennzoil with Pure Base is formulated to protect against the harshness of everyday driving. We can't change the way you have to drive, but we can protect you from it.
What kind of steaks did you get?
Stop and go protection from Pennzoil. Try Pennzoil Synthetic for protection during hot summer conditions.
Introducing new Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection, now in a wipe.
The summer blockbuster season has begun. So hang on for the most exciting ride you'll take all year. The Mummy Returns. Rated PG-13, now playing everywhere.
Get inside the non-stop action on race weekend. Get inside the news and highlights. Get inside the teams, fans, and games. Only at the official site of NASCAR. NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
We welcome you back to Studio A in Atlanta on a doubleheader night here on TNT. Ernie Johnson and Mike Dunleavy and Charles Barkley. And what a start to the doubleheader, huh? The Philadelphia 76ers tie things up with the Toronto Raptors behind 54. Do not adjust your sets. 54 from Allen Iverson, including 19 straight. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of basketball, but I mean, you don't see that kind of stuff too often, Coach.
Oh, that was special. You know, at this level of the NBA, to put up those kind of numbers, and you've seen it a couple times. Another TNT game with Orlando and Tracy McGrady doing it. That's a special performance when it comes to NBA time.
What exactly was he doing there, and what was Toronto doing defensively, if anything?
Well, I think, you know, Toronto made a decision they're going to play him straight up, but at that point in time, I think Lenny's probably going to go back and say we may need to run somebody else at him, because they were bringing him up to the top of the key and clearing out the right-hand side, giving him his right hand to attack. You've got a couple of guys, Eric Snow and Mutombo, on the left-hand side of the floor that he may want to push him to.
You got to send Larry Brown a box of cigars because he took him out of that game with 54 points before he endangered your 56 points in a playoff game, the third most.
You know, I would like to see him break through. That was impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, but he was unbelievable. And I keep saying I hope he gets MVP because he's played great all season. But the thing that disappointed, man, Toronto, first of all, you can't guard this guy one-on-one. But you don't let a guy score that many points in a row without taking the ball out of his hand. They were right there with a 1 or 2 point game. To let him score that many points, I was surprised that Leonard didn't take the ball out of his hands. Because, you know, if he doesn't score, you know, a minimum of 30 a night, I don't think the Sixers can win. But to let him get that many points consecutively, I thought that was a bad decision by Toronto. But you got to just take your hat off to him. He was unbelievable.
He scores 54 of Philadelphia's 97. They win at 97-92. Quickly on Game 2 of our doubleheader, the Spurs and the Mavs. And as you both said at halftime, Dirk Nowitzki will play. I don't care how sick you are, you're going to play in the playoff game. Huh?
Well, you know, he's got to play in the game. I mean, it's the biggest game for their season. Obviously, it's a must-win for them. There's no way they could beat the Spurs 4 games in a row. The crowd's going to be going wild. But the other guys got to step up if Dirk can't play well.
What would you do if you're Nelly?
They're going to have to shoot the ball well from the outside. They got to space the court and use their big men to have to try and draw them out.
That's Game 2 of our doubleheader, and it's just moments away here on TNT. The San Antonio Spurs looking for a 3-zip lead. What will the Mavs do to respond at reunion? We'll take you back to Bob and the Jet after this.
Here's a tip. American Express has this membership rewards program. Sign up and you get points when you pay with a small business card. You've got 100 points here, you've got, say, 300 points here. That'll be 4,000 points on this week's deliveries alone. You've got lots of ways to pay, but this card can take you to Hawaii, so why pay any other way?
Small business owners have earned billions of points to spend on travel, equipment, and more. To sign up for membership rewards, visit us at AmericanExpress.com.
We need a car?
A minivan.
No.
An SUV.
With leather.
Blue.
Green.
Bluish green?
Welcome to Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Now we need insurance.
And a loan.
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If you've got a dirty air filter under your hood, you're losing horsepower and killing your gas mileage. That's a fact. Cars that breathe clean air burn less gas.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Get to AutoZone right now. Put in a new air filter, get the horsepower back, and start getting better gas mileage today.
Get in the zone. AutoZone. Speed is measured in the hundreds, metal by the ton. But it's something as human as one move, right or wrong, one moment of fear, or one burst of courage that always makes the difference between victory and everything else. That's drama. That's NASCAR. See NASCAR's heroes race for the championship. Coming July to TNT and NBC.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by American Express. Cards, travel, financial services, and traveler's checks. Whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the NBA. Is it in you? By Chrysler. We're reinventing the passion for driving. And by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome back to Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Starting lineups presented by Gatorade. For the Spurs, Ferry, Duncan, Robinson, Daniels, and Porter. Daniels has 5 threes in the series, filling in for the injured Derek Anderson. And Dirk Nowitzki has been sick since early this morning. Said he's feeling pretty good. He's shooting only 27%, and I think he's probably feeling about 27%.
Feeling 27%, not shooting the ball well. And to get sick a lot of times, though, when you get sick, you focus in a little bit more on the things that you can do. And that might help Dirk Nowitzki here tonight. But you know what? It's nuts in here. It really is nuts in here, Bob.
I haven't been to Dallas to broadcast a game in several years. The Dallas franchise hasn't been on television very much. But I do remember in the late 80s when Dallas had a heck of a good ball team, and we were here a lot. This place was one of the noisiest arenas in the NBA. And by the way, this will be the last year for this arena. They'll be moving into a new house next year. Bennett Salvador, Joe Forte, and Ted Bernhardt are our officials. Philadelphia beat Toronto in Game 1, 97-92. We're going to jump it up again. Bennett Salvatore tossing the ball. Bradley and Robinson. Bradley at 7'6". One of the rare times David Robinson is dwarfed. And the Mavs have the ball first. The Mavs shooting only 36% in the series, only 34% in game number 2.
It's different type of shots, Bob. They have to usually get penetrating pitch, but when you penetrate here, you see you have to do a fadeaway because you got the big monsters under there, David Robinson and Tim Duncan, 2 of the best defensive players in the league.
With 5 on the shot clock, the ball will remain in the hands of the Dallas Mavericks as Nash drove into the paint, tried that floater, was off the mark. Juwan Howard kept it alive.
See, that's a shot that Nash would have just squared up normally, knocked it in, or gone all the way in the last series. But this series, that's not happening.
So there's a problem with the clock. They had it down to 5 seconds, had to get it reset. And since it had hit the rim and went out, it will be a new 24-second clock for the Dallas Mavericks. Opening moments from Reunion Arena. Dallas down 0-2 in the first 2 games have been totally dominated by the Spurs. Will the Mavs be able to find an answer? This young man here has had nothing but trouble, Steve Nash. Trouble with his pick and roll, just as you're seeing right now. Nowitzki down on the baseline over the double team. Kept alive by Howard, out of bounds. Off Juwan Howard. It'll be Spurs ball.
I'm not sure why Nash. He got a pick and roll, and they're switching the pick and rolls. And then he had Danny Ferry on him. He has the advantage more than Dirk Nowitzki down on the low with Terry Porter because they're going to just come and double team him. He should just clear Nowitzki out and take Danny Ferry off the dribble. That's something that he could do all night if he wanted to.
Well, the only thing slow about this game so far has been the trigger hand of the clock operator. It didn't get started after the last basket. Ted Bernhardt goes over to say something to the official scorer's table, and let's see if the shot clock works now. We're 33 seconds into quarter number 1. Terry Porter, Tim Duncan, Danny Ferry, Antonio Daniels, David Robinson. Terry Porter has played big in this series, but he's played big in a lot of playoff games in his 13-year career. Duncan had 25 points and 21 rebounds in game number 2. Daniels' runner doesn't go.
See, this is where the Mavericks have to score. In transition, they got to get some early backs before the big guys set up on defense. Can't pass up shot opportunities. The first shot was one, and he passed it up.
I was about to say that. He was open for the shot, took it in a little closer, and then missed. Finley had a nightmare shooting the ball, too. He was only 36% in game number 2, 10 of 18. And we have the early foul on Bradley. Bradley's been playing well, Kenny, in this series. He has 9 block shots and is averaging 10 rebounds.
Yeah, you talk about guys saying that Sean Bradley's a stiff. You hear that a lot, you know, jokingly and seriously. But this guy, 7'6", has a great touch for the basket, and there are no layups when Sean Bradley's in the paint.
A steal by Juwan Howard on the inbounds play. It's 2-0 Dallas.
That's another guy who's probably happy to be home after the flagrant foul on Derek Anderson. Now he can kind of concentrate on basketball.
And the Spurs turn it over, and back come the Mavericks, except somebody will take the inbound pass. Oops. Michael Finley and Howard with the pick and roll. Howard open on that baseline. Not this time. Nowitzki kept it alive. It goes off the back of Bradley, and here come the Spurs. Daniels open inside the three-point line, rims out, tipped in. David Robinson. David's averaging 14.5, 9 rebounds and 7 blocks in this series. Has 7 blocks, and we've got an offensive foul.
That's a tough call, I think, right there, because you penalize Michael Finley for his strength, because he really didn't push off. His body kind of momentum pushed him into Daniels, but because he's stronger, Daniels went flying. He got penalized for his strength, I think.
Tied at 2 minutes in to game 3. Mavs trailing 2-0. Hoping they'll find better shooting range here at Reunion. Terry Porter. Duncan's open. That's a mistake.
Yeah, you can't double team Terry Porter to leave Tim Duncan. If you have anybody in the gym you'd rather not shoot the ball, it's Tim Duncan.
He's shooting 51% from the floor. Finley continues his shooting woes. A lot of people thought the Mavericks were shooting poorly in the Alamo Dome because it's such a big building and tough to see. Blocked by Bradley. Ferry comes up with the ball, and they'll restart it. Here is Tim Duncan.
No layups around Sean Bradley. You got to dunk it. If you don't dunk it, he's going to swat it.
See if Dallas can get anything going here. That is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Finley. Spurs ball. The Mavs are only 1 of 7 from the floor to start this game. Didn't even get a shot up that time. 4-2 Spurs. Keep our eye on Dirk Nowitzki. As Mark Morgan reported before the game, he's been sick all night long with food poisoning. He had to have transfusion of glucose before the ball game. Ferry misses from the corner. Duncan with another rebound. Porter is open. Robinson with the rebound. The offensive boards have been big, and that's a loose ball foul.
You look at what they're doing, the Mavs are doing on defense. They're scrambling in a sense. They're double teaming so much that's leaving opportunities open to go to crash the offensive rebounds. My thinking is you can't double everyone on this team. Tim Duncan is the main scorer. You have to just stick with double teaming him and kind of just let everyone else block out and try to get the rebound.
Bradley picked up his second. He's out of the game. Calvin Booth is in. Calvin Booth, number 52. Finally, a shot goes in for the Spurs. They had 4 offensive rebounds already in this game, and they lead by 5, 7-2. Antonio Daniels trying to defend Finley. Into the paint. Double clutch. Misses. Booth misses the tip in. Calvin Booth, only in his second year. Came in the trade from Washington. Juwan Howard. Robinson, bad pass attempt to Tim Duncan. Spurs giving them opportunities, but the Mavs can't hit the baskets.
Giving you opportunity, but you're still down 5 points in the early going. This would be a time when you're up. But I think right now, Dallas is really haven't figured out the riddle of what the Spurs are doing on defense to really shut them down.
And we have a foul as Nowitzki tries to take it inside. It's going to be on Danny Ferry. That'll be his first.
Well, we talked about how when you drive normally, these are baskets against the Utah Jazz because they don't have shot blockers. But with David Robinson, one of the best in the league, he makes you change your shot, do something different that you don't want to do. Nash had to do it, and now Finley had to do the same thing.
14 on the shot clock for the Mavs. 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Looking for Finley again. Finley's been the only consistent offensive threat. The pass inside to Howard. Howard had that shot blocked. But they're going to get the foul called, and it's going to be on Tim Duncan, his first. A lot of fouls have been called already early in this game.
Yeah, a lot of fouls. Good movement, but these are normal buckets against any other team. But these guys go after every single possession. Makes it tough inside if you a big guy trying to get a layup.
Howard was only 4 of 21 from the floor in game number 2. But however, Juwan Howard on the series is 9 out of 10 from the line until he missed that one. See his numbers.
Bob, we talked about Nowitzki being sick. I played with Clyde Drexler, game 6 against Phoenix. He had the flu. He had intravenous going through before the game. And he came out, he had 26 points, about 15 rebounds, 8 assists. It's really, and he said he focused better and stuck to the things that he thought he could do. Don't try to do anything outside of your realm when you're sick.
Look at Duncan spinning inside of Calvin Booth. He's going to get some education here tonight trying to defend Duncan. And it's 9-2 Spurs. And Dallas continues their first quarter woes. They are averaging only 18 points in the first quarter during the whole playoffs. They had only 11 in the first quarter in game number 1 against the Spurs in San Antonio. Nowitzki is going to sit down, and in comes Howard Isley. Remember, Nowitzki's been ill. We're talking to him now to see how he's feeling. There's the first quarter Blues. Game 1, 11 points. It's hard to come back from that in the playoffs, particularly against the Spurs. Finley makes it 9-4. Dallas is 2 of 10 from the floor. Antonio Daniels looking for...
That's illegal defense.
There's an illegal defense as Nash got in for the double team before the ball got into...
It's not a bad idea. You have to go when the ball is in the air. He just got caught on the pump fake. But once the ball is in the air, if you don't go as to double team then, it's going to be too late because these guys are too quick, too big, and too strong to not come then.
Yeah, Nash was getting to Duncan late in game number 2. We've got an offensive foul against the Spurs. It's going to be on David Robinson. So both Robinson and Duncan both have a foul early in the game. 6:43 to go, first quarter. So Isley's on the floor with Finley and Nash, basically 3 guards, and Booth and Juwan Howard up front. Small ball. Finley down low, gets it to go. He's hit his last 2.
And you see what Finley did on the pick and roll. They switched off. Danny Ferry came to him. He's like, you know what? I have the advantage, not you, Calvin Booth. I'm going to take this shot and go one-on-one. That's what Steve Nash has to do.
Now Isley defending Antonio Daniels. Ferry wants to shoot it over Finley. That's the pick and roll. Here comes Daniels penetrating. Runner goes down for Antonio Daniels.
I think his natural position probably is a shooting guard. He plays some point guard. He plays some shooting guard. But he looks more comfortable at the off-guard position. That's Antonio Daniels.
Finley tried a one-on-one with Daniels. Couldn't get anywhere. Howard with an 8 on the shot clock. The jump hook goes down for Juwan Howard. It's a 3-point Spurs lead. They had led 9-2. Porter turns it over, and they get a late whistle. It's on Steve Nash. 11-8. San Antonio, 5:37 to go in quarter number 1.
Believe it or not, many online brokers still rely on the technology of yesteryear. Is your online broker even trading online? Datech Online, built to trade.
MCI performed over 90 evaluations in key areas like safety, performance, and comfort, and concluded Chrysler Town & Country is the best minivan ever. Drive one and see why Chrysler tested better than Ford, Toyota, Honda, or anyone else.
With Daytech Online, most trades are executed in mere seconds. Plus, Daytech pledges to execute your marketable online order within 60 seconds or the commission's waived. Daytech Online, built to trade.
You know, the most amazing things happen to me every time I begin to read. I can fly among the moon and stars, or I can visit lands both near and far. I've always liked a good mystery, but there are so many things that interest me. And my favorite thing is when it ends, another book starts it all again.
Watch Blade, Sunday, May 20th on TNT.
Spurs lead it by 3. They also lead the series 2-0. First two, of course, in San Antonio. In Game 1, 94-78 Spurs with that tremendous disparity in free throws, and Duncan had 31 and 13. In Game 2, 186. Terry Porter and Antonio Daniels stepped in for Derek Anderson, gave great backup for the star who's injured and won't play in this series, perhaps not in the playoffs at all. And the Spurs get the victory there, 100-86, and lead it 2-0. Nowitzki, you see that he is sick. They've got him wrapped up in blankets on the sideline. Didn't eat all day. A few saltines.
Tim Duncanitis. I mean, food poison. I'm sorry.
There have been a lot of sick players here. Duncanitis. Duncan open. Booth doesn't get there. Duncan misses, and Isley with the rebound. If you want anything from Duncan, it's that shot.
Well, I don't want him shooting. I wouldn't want him shooting at all. He's so versatile, so good. And he runs the floor. You look at David Robinson. These guys, they run the floor. That's why you can't really get in an up-tempo game with them, because you have the best running big men. They can really beat your big men down the floor.
So Daniels got the steal on the Isley pass, and now the Spurs, leading 11-8, have 8 on the shot clock. Elliott trying to penetrate against Isley, and he draws the foul. Sean Elliott playing himself into more and more shape. He missed 30 games with his rotator cuff. Also had a sore knee, so he didn't get to play a lot during the regular season. But as he's come back here, Greg Popovich is saying that he's playing smoother and smoother, Ken.
Yeah, he looks very aggressive. Plus he's a veteran who knows the difference between the mismatches. He says, you know what, Don Nelson, you're going to go to this small ball and you're going to play 3 guards and put a Howard Isley on me. I'm 6'7", and I can dribble the basketball. I'm going to make things happen, and that's what he did just there.
Now Nowitzki comes back out on the floor, and Calvin Booth will sit down. It's 12-8 Spurs with 4:56 to go in the first quarter. Felt like the Mavs were about to make a mini run. They started the game 1 of 9 from the floor, then went 3 for 3. Finley started 0 for 3 and hit his last 2 baskets. So now it's 13-8, 5-point Spurs lead. Finley defended by Elliott now. Gets the pick from Howard. Back to Howard. Wanted to take it inside. It's punched away by Elliott. Here comes Daniels.
One hand up. This is trademark.
Yeah, but he's never won the slam dunk championship, as did you, Mr.
Second place. The pay was good, though.
That's right.
The pay was good.
I thought you should have won. Matter of fact, I voted for you.
I should have won. I'm not going to say anything about that. Dominique.
Yeah, what was he doing? 15-8 Spurs. Howard. Hard to the hoop and gets it to go down, and Juwan Howard has 6 points in this first quarter. 4 minutes remaining. Porter is open for 3.
Wow.
Money.
Wow. You look at the easy availability of those shots that they get because of the double team that Tim Duncan creates. But then again, Terry Porter is a great shooter. He's going to knock it down. You got to have guys who are skilled enough to hit it in playoff pressure situations.
Isley and Nowitzki in the pick and roll now. Isley gets the 15-footer. Shoots at 16. Stolen by Finley. And 1. And that's the second foul on Tim Duncan.
Yeah, that's a big play. Because now Popovich really has to take out Duncan in the first quarter. And if you're the Mavericks, which has been your woe in the first quarter, you're looking forward to that.
So Finley will step to the line. He's 9 of 11 in the series, shooting 82%. Some substitutions. Avery Johnson on the floor, along with Malik Rose, as Duncan will sit down.
See, this helps you out if you're Dallas, because now you don't have to double team. You don't have to leave Terry Porter open as much. You don't have to scramble and try to find people on the defensive end. You can stay home, lock in on people, and be a lot better defensively.
Dallas, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the league, starting out very slowly from the line inside to Robinson, and the foul from Juwan Howard. Dallas first among playoff teams, and we're talking about how well they shoot. Shooting 86%. They are 0 for 3 tonight, and we would like to welcome all of you watching in Canada on Sportsnet. Robinson, 14.5 points, 9 rebounds, total of 7 blocks in this series, playing about 30 minutes. And he gets them both. He's only been 9 of 14 from the line until then. 8 points. Spurs lead. 3:15 to go in the quarter. The Mavericks averaging 18 points in the first quarter. They may have problem reaching that tonight unless they get
they'll
started.
be lucky if they get 18, but they need this guy sick, well, whatever he is, to play well.
So Nowitzki, the 7-footer, shoots it over Malik Rose, and it's a 6-point Spurs lead. Now Avery Johnson running things, defended by Steve Nash. Trying to go to Robinson. Howard got a tough defensive assignment. 5 on the shot clock. Rose open for the jumper. It was kept alive by Finley. Here's Nash. Howard out in front. Nash trying to run. Finley wants the 3. Gets it back to Nash. He'll go for and get the 3.
Open looks. That's some good home remedy if you get some open looks.
We have a Spurs timeout. The Mavs have pulled to within 3 with 2:27 to go. They are on a 5-0 run in just 33 seconds here in the first quarter.
Thursday on The Man-Made Movie, Val Kilmer comes face-to-face with a secret from his past, Thunderheart, while Chad uncovers some secrets of his own. The Man-Made Movie, Thursday at 8 Eastern, only on TBS Superstation.
Introducing the new 200-horsepower Chrysler Seabrings. Sedan, convertible, and coupe. They beg to be driven.
Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View presents a monthly series of comedy. This month,
we're making a television show right now.
You really think that's funny?
the best of Tom Green, uncensored. Shock! Only $4.99 on Channel 195. Comedy on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on Direct TV.
Now that's comedy. We've got the whole situation under control.
The greatest fighters.
You ready?
The greatest fights.
Are you ready?
It's a whole new Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Let's get on! Come on!
2 belts are on the line as heavyweight champion Randy Couture takes on Pedro the Rock Hizzo. And lightweight champion Pat Miletich battles Carlos Newton. The Ultimate Fighting Championship. On Direct Ticket from the Trump Taj Mahal.
Does he still amaze you when he comes across with performances like this?
No, he's a good player, things like that. So, yeah, I've seen him put up numbers like that for a long time. So, it doesn't amaze me, but it just disappoints myself that I let him do that.
So Philadelphia beats Toronto 97-92. Iverson, 54 points in the game, and it's tied at 1 with Philly and Toronto. It's a big game. Kenny Smith is here. So is Matthew Perry and Elizabeth Hurley. I tried to give Elizabeth your seat, but you know.
Troy Aikman's here too, man.
Yeah, well, you were rude. You would not move for Elizabeth Hurley. There's Fred Couples. The Byron Nelson golf tournament's in town this week, so a lot of PGA pros here.
You know what? I might switch my sport. I might go to golf. I could do that. Couples, I could get him.
I like your confidence. You never lacked for confidence. Sean Elliott open on the weak side. He hits the jumper over Finley, and it's 22-17 with 2:08 to go in the first quarter from Reunion Arena.
This is a new set that they kind of put in, that Mavericks put in. Put Michael Finley at the point guard, then put Nash and running him off screens. But right now, here's Nowitzki. He has the advantage. All he has to do is shoot. He doesn't have to dribble, do anything else. Just take the shot. Avery's 5'11". I could have done that.
Well, Nowitzki certainly shooting it better than he did in game 2. He was 7 of 26. That's 27%. 0 for 6 from beyond the arc, and he's hit his first 2 shots here. It's a 3-point Spurs lead. Elliott misses, and it's tipped in, and it's 24-19. David Robinson has 6.
Hey, I would go back to the Nash screen and roll with Avery Johnson. You got to put Avery Johnson, because now Sean Elliott can defend a little bit better Dirk Nowitzki. It's a tougher shot. It's a fadeaway, off-balance air ball.
And he got a piece of it.
No question. You got to go back to having Avery on him. They're switching every pick and roll.
Daniels open on the break, misses the 3. Malik Rose with a rebound. Out to Elliott, back to Avery Johnson. New shot clock, 58 seconds to go in the first quarter. Well, Dallas at least is above their first quarter playoff average of 18 points. They've still only scored 19.
What I learned a lot in the NBA is that teams will run the same play over and over if it works. Tonight they're not doing it. It's the Mavs right now.
Isley with the steal. He goes to Nowitzki. He's fouled hard by Malik Rose with 38 seconds in the first period. That's Dallas doing what they do so well and haven't been able to do in the first 2 games, and that's defensively rebound and run.
Yeah, the biggest thing is good defensive help by Howard Isley. Gets his hand on the ball, and Nash knows what to do. Good point guards, keep it in the middle, let the big guys fill, let them finish.
Nowitzki, 84% free throw shooter in the regular season, 88% in the playoffs, and there's another look at the hard foul on Dirk Nowitzki. They should take it easy on him. Poor baby's been sick.
It's the Tim Duncanitis. It gets you every time.
Well, you know what?
You say you couldn't keep anything down. You're not going to keep Tim Duncan down. You can't keep him down.
He's down now with 2 personals on the bench. Nowitzki has hit 2 shots with Tim resting.
Yeah, but the pick and roll is the answer. Don Nessel says that's their bread and butter, and they haven't been able to do it well. But I think the decisions have been poor on the pick and rolls is the reason why it hasn't worked. Not because of anything I don't think the Spurs are really doing.
Nowitzki has the last 7 Dallas points. Daniels with the drive, tried to get it to Robinson. Robinson follows, misses the jam, and the foul.
That almost was goaltending. I thought Bradley might have had his hand through the rim to block that because David was very close inside.
Bradley had just come back in the game. Now he has his 3rd foul. Will have to sit out again, and here comes Calvin Booth.
Well, we'll see if he actually fouled him or he actually put his hand through the rim. No, he didn't, but, you know, it's awfully close to call a foul on.
There's David Robinson's reaction. Robinson, 6 points, 6 rebounds early in the game. Bradley has 2 blocks in 6 minutes played, but unfortunately for Dallas, Bradley has 3 personal fouls. Don Nelson makes another switch. He gets Greg Buckner, Isley, and Finley, along with Nowitzki and Howard. So Calvin Booth goes back to the bench. Robinson misses. It's a 3-point game with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter.
It's a lot of
differential, Kenny.
But it's a lot of versatility on this team. You see so many guys on the Mavericks handling the basketball. You see Finley, you see Isley, Nash. Everyone touches it. You see Howard bring it up. That's what makes him so dangerous and so tough. And there's the Jordan Ness move by Finley, but it doesn't go down.
We do have a Spurs foul, however. It's going to be on Malik Rose, and that's his 2nd. And Buckner will go to the line. You know the story. on Greg Butner. He hasn't played since 5 weeks ago in April when he dislocated his left kneecap. It's been rehabilitating it, came back, and he's played 18 minutes so far in the series, 3 of 8 from the field. Coming up tomorrow night on TNT, the NBA playoffs continue. Starting at 8 p.m., it's Game 3 between Milwaukee and Charlotte as the series moves back to North Carolina. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern on TNT.
They got me back in the studio tomorrow after this one.
Oh, no, you're staying out here, pal.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm going to see if I can get another hall pass.
I've already made the call.
You know, you get the hall pass in school. I'm going to see if I can get one. Good move by Avery.
At the buzzer. My goodness, Avery Johnson, as Dallas saw the clock running down, they relaxed just a bit. That gave Avery time for the layup down the lane.
Avery's one of the best finishers in basketball, even though he's so small, getting to the basket at point guard. He's one of the best at that.
So David Robinson has 6 points, 9 rebounds in this first quarter. Juwan Howard has 6 and 4 rebounds for the Mavs.
This summer, an all-new original primetime series comes to TNT.
What is the Witchblade?
A mystery. You can use the Witchblade to pierce the veil of the senses. You were chosen. You are special. The Witchblade has powers, but only the person who wields it can truly know them all.
Every Tuesday, see the story of a woman who started out a cop and became something more.
Are you justice?
Witchblade, the original series. Tuesdays at 9 p.m. beginning June 5th, only on TNT.
Responsive Chrysler Sebring Sports Sedan. Proof that it's not the destination, it's the drive.
One more time now!
Sebring LX Sedan has the highest government front crash test rating, and now well-qualified returning gold key lessees can lease one for $259 a month.
With the 512th pick in the NBA fan draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ruth Gilman.
Every time you use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, you could be drafted to an NBA team. If your team goes to the finals, you go too, and get a $25,000 signing bonus. Just dial down the center, 1-800-CALLATT. The more you call, the more chances you have to win a trip to the NBA Finals.
Yo, what's up, dog?
Hi, this is my house. I love cheese, as you can see. I just get so excited when I'm around cheese. Cheddar England, ground zero for cheddar lovers.
If you love cheddar, nothing's more delicious than Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
For the man who put the 2 E's in cheese, Dave Thomas, the big cheese.
Come try one today.
The new version of Oracle will make your website 3 times faster. Or we'll give you $1 million.
Budget has all these cool cars. Jaguars, Rangers.
Mustang convertibles.
Oh, and the Explorer for only $39.99.
How can we let everybody know about that? We'll send out a chain letter.
$39.99. Send this letter to 7 friends or it's bad luck.
Let's forget the chain letter. Let's not.
The Explorer for $39.99 is a good deal.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Rangers, Jack.
Spurs by 4 after the first period. Dallas has now at least scored more than their 18, and 11 of those 22 for Dallas have come on fast break points.
Fast break points, but here's the pick and roll. You got Avery Johnson on you. You're 7 feet tall. You don't have to dribble. You don't have to make a decision. The only decision and the only friend is the rim. To put it to the rim and let everyone else get it off if you miss, but you're not going to miss that many of those kind of shots.
But you see the difference in Nowitzki. At home and on the road, he's now back there being nursed for his food poisoning. In addition to being sick, of course, he was awake all night. Duncan back in the game, carrying 2 fouls. Perry gets it to Avery Johnson on the drive. Duncan open at the free throw line. 6 points, Spurs lead. And Duncan has 6 points. Nash resting, Isley at the point. Bentley trying to beat Elliott. Gets it out to Isley for 3. Howard Isley came up big from three-point land in game number 2, and he's now 7 of 11 in threes in the 2 games and 1 quarter. Foul over the back, Calvin Booth. Isley getting his stroke, Kenny.
Yeah, he's getting his stroke, but if you can get your stroke when you got wide open looks. Finley did a great job of sucking in the defense and then penetrated and pitched out to Isley. Get you a wide open look. That always keeps your confidence up.
11 minutes to go, first half. 8 on the shot clock for the Spurs, up 3. Shot clock to 5. Avery Johnson misses it, but there is up. Rebound and the block by Calvin Booth. As Samaki Walker, who makes an early appearance here in the game.
That's a tough call. Yeah, I thought he did a great job of blocking the ball. You know, I don't think Samaki went up as strong as he had liked to, and I thought Calvin made a good block. That's a pretty good block to me.
Samaki Walker, former Maverick, came from Dallas after the '99 season. One of those players that looks like he's going to be great, but is inconsistent.
Well, you're going to be inconsistent because you get inconsistent minutes on the Spurs, because you're not going to play over David and you're not going to play over Tim. So you basically have to wait till one of those guys get hurt or get in foul trouble, and that doesn't lead to being successful on the court when you don't know when you're going to play.
He misses them both. Finley dribbled the ball right into the waiting arms of Danny Ferry, and back come the Spurs. That's his 3rd turnover. Talking about Finley. We got the foul on Booth as Duncan scores inside.
We've seen like every array that a big man can do. We've seen him put it on the floor, go to the basket, get a 3-point play. We've seen him post up, hit it off the backboard. We've seen him shoot jump shots. You cannot stop such a versatile player. So the key is to keep the ball out of his hands. Once it's in his hands, it's a basket.
So Booth picked up his 2nd foul, and Dirk Nowitzki coming back into the game. I have a feeling Nelson's going to be running to Nowitzki in and out with his food poisoning. He goes over, sits for a few minutes, gets him a blanket.
I'm waiting to see Juju because you got everybody else. I mean, it's the 2nd quarter, and you got everybody in foul trouble. This guy's too good.
Well, Nelly told us that he very well may see action. Matter of fact, he said we'll probably see action. And that foul's going to be on the Mavericks. That's going to be on Juwan Howard. That'll be his 2nd personal. Steve Nash coming back into the game. So far in this game, Steve Nash has 3 points, a triple. And he's been on the bench for a while. Isley will sit down. Team fouls already with 10:36 to go in the half. Dallas has 4 team fouls. Spurs will be shooting on the next foul. San Antonio none. Spurs lose it. The turnover off Samaki Walker. And here comes Steve Nash. David Robinson resting now with Ferry and Duncan and Samaki Walker up front. Elliott Johnson outside. Bentley gets it to Greg Buckner, up and under. 3 seconds violation. Turnover Spurs.
That's Russ. Like you said, he's only played 18 minutes, has been out. I'm surprised we haven't seen Vernon Maxwell come in here. A guy who's had playoff experience. I played with in Houston. A big game player. And actually told me to say hello to his wife, Shell, and his kids he hadn't seen because he'd been on the road with the playoff. But I'm surprised we haven't seen him.
Yeah, he had 23 minutes in game 1. Didn't score, but had 5 rebounds. Now Nowitzki trying to defend Duncan. Goes glass and misses it this time. Here comes Finley. 5-point Spurs lead. Got Nowitzki inside. Couldn't handle the ball. Here comes Finley. You can see that the Mavericks are intimidated by that inside defense. Spurs step on the line. It'll belong to Dallas. 9:38 to go in the half.
See, Bob, against the Spurs, you have to take the first good available opportunity. You can't, you get into the court, into the playoffs and saying, I want a great shot. Good shots will work in the playoffs. You don't have to change too much. Right now, the Mavericks are looking for great shots, and that's not going to happen against a good defensive team.
Howard trying to beat Duncan off the dribble. Duncan caused him to alter that. Got the front edge of the iron, and that foul will be on Greg Buckner, his first. And Finley, by the way, only 3 for 9 in this first half. Finley has 6 points. Howard 6, Nowitzki 6. Tim Duncan has 8. Coming up Friday night on TNT, it's doubleheader action. We'll start out with Game 3 between the Sixers and Raptors. As the series shifts to Toronto, then the Lakers look to take a commanding 3-game lead in their series as they head to Sacramento to face the Kings. Coverage begins at 8 on TNT. 6-point Spurs lead. This is slowed into a half-court game.
Not good if you're Dallas, because now when you play half court, that means your big guys will touch the basketball. So that means Tim Duncan will touch it. And I don't think that you really want that to happen, because now it's slow down. Where's it going? You got an opportunity to swing it once, swing it, ball reversal, and still get Tim involved some kind of way, which you don't want to happen.
Walker backing in on Finley. He misses. Buckner with a rebound. Buckner, one of the best defenders on this Dallas team. He gets inside, hands it off to Juwan Howard. He misses. Buckner with another rebound. New shot clock. Nowitzki's going to pull up from 14. Dallas can't throw it in the ocean. Their shooting percentage here in the first half is atrocious once again.
Very fortunate to only be down 6, because the Spurs aren't really lighting it up until Danny Ferry says, yes, we are, Kenny.
Danny Ferry with the 3, and it's a 9-point Spurs lead. The Mavericks are only 1 for 6 in this period, 37% in the game, and this is the biggest Spurs lead of the game.
See, I think these moves should be quicker, faster, to the basket. Don't let the double team scrum. Don't let the defense see what you're about to do. Another good steal by Finley, keeping him in on it, staying around the basket.
That's 2 steals and 2 hoops for Finley on the inbound after a basket for the Spurs. Samaki Walker in, misses the dunk attempt. Buckner hard to the hoop, and he gets it to roll in. Buckner showing some energy here for the Mavs. Looks like his dislocated left knee has healed, and now it's a 5-point Spurs lead. 7:24 to go in the half. Timeout, San Antonio.
The ballpark, the last bastion of brotherhood. A world where strangers pass each other's food, drink, and hard-earned cash. Where a simple beer man hands off a frost-brewed Coors Light, trusting not a drop of Rocky Mountain refreshment is lost along the journey. Hand to hand, man to man, until it reaches its rightful owner.
Hey, beer man, where's the rest of my Coors Light?
Fellas, have you no shame?
Did you ever see that movie, You've Got Mail? Where this guy and girl fall in love emailing each other a bunch of times? Anyway, they finally meet face to face, and there's this big romantic kiss. You know the movie I'm talking about? Did you ever see that one? Well, this guy didn't. Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
We test dehydration under extreme conditions. We test how the brain works when the body is fatigued. We test over and over in a real lab with real athletes with the very focused goal of improving athletic performance. It's called the Gatorade Sports Science Institute. You can look it up.
For the first time on network television, you're nothing to me. Another dead vampire. Watch Wesley Snipes in Blade. See the network television premiere Sunday, May 20th on TNT.
Welcome back to Reunion Arena. I'm Mark Morgan, joined by actors Matthew Perry and Elizabeth Hurley. Elizabeth, you two are in town shooting a movie quickly. What's the name of the movie and what's your role?
Servicing Sarah. I play Sarah, and I guess that means you service me.
Well, there's a bunch of jokes there. Matthew, are you a big NBA fan? Do you have a favorite team?
Well, I'm trying to keep it down. I'm a Lakers fan, but don't say anything here.
Favorite Springsteen song?
Favorite Springsteen songs? Tunnel of Love?
Well, it's way too pop. The correct answer is what is Badlands? What is Badlands?
I realized there was a correct answer to that.
Enjoy the game. Thanks, guys. Bob?
Okay, Mark, you're pretty tough on our boy Matthew there.
Hey, I'll go with Born in the USA. Favorite Springsteen. Oh, okay. Back to the game.
Mark never interviews you. You notice that? Inside to Walker, defended by Finley. Offensive foul on Samaki Walker as Finley hits the deck. That'll be the first on Samaki Walker. 10 turnovers for San Antonio. Well,
uncharacteristic, no question. Especially when Avery comes into the game, he usually has a settling effect on the team.
Finley trying to work something with Nowitzki.
See, the advantage to me is not really Nowitzki. It's to me with Michael Finley when you have the kick and roll. So he gives it up, and Nash hits a tough floater.
It was a tough one. He's fading back. It's a 3-point Spurs lead. 6-0 run since San Antonio had its biggest lead. And there's an 11th turnover for the Spurs. Numbers for the Mavericks. Steve Nash goes to the left hand. Comes away with the ball. 15 on the shot clock. Nowitzki. Kept alive by Howard and out of bounds. Dallas.
The Dallas Mavericks are surviving in this game on hustle plays. All of the loose balls, all of the extra effort plays. If they didn't have those, they would be down about 10, 15 points. Because skill-wise, they're not doing it. This is strictly hustle right here.
6 minutes played for Greg Buckner. He has 7 rebounds. And Buckner picks up his second foul. That looks like a football out of bounds play. San Antonio, by the way, goes to the line. Antonio Daniels. Spurs have only made one of the last 6 free throws.
More surprising to me about both teams, they really have no characters on their team. Everyone's so professional and business-like. You look at Milwaukee, you see Sam Cassell, and you look at Iverson, look at even Vince Carter. They give you those game faces, Webber, Shaq. Here is so professional. Everyone seems, I feel like everyone on the sideline should have suits on instead of sweatsuits. They should have ties. Everyone's professional here.
Well, Steve Kerr, he's as wacky as they come.
No, he's going to be straight-laced as it comes.
Steve Kerr getting more playing time since the loss of Derek Anderson.
Where's Tracy McGrady talking to somebody's ear when you need him, man?
Oh, yeah.
Let's heat this game up a little bit. They're too friendly right now.
36-31 Spurs, 6:17 to go, first half. Porter on Nash. Inside to Howard. He's got nowhere to go with it, but there's a foul. That's the first San Antonio foul in the quarter.
Foul. San Antonio number 3, Porter.
Yeah, it's tough. This is, and like I said, last series against Utah, he finishes that layup. But now with Big Dave coming over 5-0, you have to pass it because there's no lane, and he creates no passing lanes either, so it's a tough pass for Howard.
Yeah, 5-0's in the neighborhood. That foul on Porter. Nash. Out of bounds, Dallas ball. Howard battling for rebounds. He has 4 early in the game. And we have a timeout with 5:54 to go in the first half. Spurs up 5, 36-31.
Back in 1980, Magic Johnson had 187 steals. 187. It was one of those team records they said would never be broken. But it was broken 2 years later when Magic stole 208.
Hey, nothing beats an original.
Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Nothing. Nice steal.
Are you near a phone? Can you take down a number? Then call to find out about term life insurance at competitive rates from a respected insurer, Protective Life Insurance Company. A 35-year-old could get a $200,000 policy for less than $14 a month. A 40-year-old could get a $250,000 policy for less than $18 a month. For your free quote, call now. Matrix Direct, 1-800-390-3019.
Okay, which one's better, 1 or 2?
That would be 2.
Good. Now, 1 or 2?
2 again.
All right. Now, better 1 or 2?
Definitely 2.
Want to see big savings on replacement contacts? Call Lens Express. You call us, we call your doctor. You save up to 50% off the retail price. For name brand contacts, just like the doctor ordered, call 1-800-LENS-EXPRESS.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Daytech Online, the online broker that's built to trade. By Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. And by 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Except for the opening basket, San Antonio has led all the way, 36-31 now, with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. And Kenny, the Jet, what about the
studio Jet?
Former studio exec.
Well, you look at the Mavs and what they're trying to do. I think they're not really making great decisions. The plays are working, but their decision process isn't good. I think on the pick and roll, they're giving the ball to the wrong man. The guy who really has the advantage, to me, is not getting the basketball on every single pick and roll, and that's probably the biggest difference in why the Spurs are still up in this little bit of run that they're having.
And the Spurs, relative to those first 2 games, look lethargic here tonight. But nevertheless, Dallas hasn't been able to catch. Here's Finley trying to beat Daniels. To get down there, and who's there? 5-0.
5-0's right there. He's making you take runners and off-balance shots. Because these guys do not let you get to the basket. So how do you do it? I think you got to take them away in the pick and roll. When they switch, that keeps them away from the basket a little.
And we've got a foul as Howard is trying to keep David Robinson off that low block, and that's the 3rd on Juwan Howard. Bradley picked up 3 quick fouls for the Mavericks and has been on the bench most of this first half. I didn't see any contact there.
Hey, you look at what Tim Duncan has to play with. He's like the great unassuming star because, one, think about a guy who was a top 50 player who would basically miss to San Antonio. Then all of a sudden a new star comes in town and he says, you know what, I'm going to take a back seat. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say anything. You do all of it. The offense goes through you now, and I could just sit back and relax. A lot of people couldn't do that. He's the perfect supporting cast since all of these actors are here. He's a perfect supporting actor, if you so to speak.
A lot of PGA Tour players in the crowd also. Some of them are actors.
He's a good caddy, then. How's that?
I like that. And that foul's going to be on Steve Spur as he double-teamed Nowitzki. That's only the 2nd Spurs team foul. Nowitzki.
Hey, that's the soprano guy, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
what's his nickname?
He was. I thought he died.
Isn't that the cat guy?
Didn't they have to do? Yeah. You can just stay with that one. I thought he was swimming with the fishes.
Nah.
Didn't they do him away? Yeah, they took him out.
Yeah, he's
on the
swimming
boat.
Hey, you know what? He's got 9 lives. He's a cat guy.
So he's the former soprano. You're just going to stay with that, aren't you?
He's a cat guy. I like cat guys.
His name is Vincent Pastore, by the way. I'm not going there. It's all.
Hey, Pastore.
Nowitzki gets them both, and I'm getting out of this. 5:12 to go in the first half. They warned me about you. Ernie Johnson called me, Kenny. He says, Bob, look out. It could be a CE, a career ender with this guy. Kerr defended by Isley. Trying to get it to Duncan. Robinson gets it to Duncan.
Oh, my goodness. That's perfect picture basketball. Feeding the post from the high, feeding the low post from the high post. Every high school, college coach wants, that's the first thing you learn if you're a big man, but most big men can't do it well. He has the advantage. No dribble, just shoot.
Nowitzki missing again from the baseline.
I'll take 20 of those instead of anything else. 20 shots with Steve Kerr on them without having to dribble. I'll take 20 of those.
Inside to Duncan again.
And they'll take 20 of these, I guess.
And he volleyballs it back out here to David Robinson. New shot clock for the Spurs. 4:17 to go in the half. Now they've got the mismatch with Nash. He switches over.
And you see how the Spurs say, you know what, our mismatch is we're going to look for David. They're going to go inside, but they did a great job of sealing it off, the Dallas Mavericks did.
Porter tried to draw the foul, didn't get it. Nearly got the turnover there. Isley doesn't get the three this time. Went over the backboard. It'll be Spurs ball.
You see how he seals Nowitzki out? The biggest part of that play is the seal, meaning he held him off right here, and he doesn't give up ground, and now he's so far from the basket, once he gets it, he can just lay it in.
Dallas, Nowitzki's missed his last 4. Nash has missed his last 4. Dallas is 4 of 17 in this quarter, 34% for the game, and it apparently is not just the Alamo Dome.
It's the Tim Duncan and David Robinson zone.
And they just called a foul on David Robinson. And that's 2 on David.
Wow. That's a little bump, a little grind. That's usually you can lose and get away with it, but I think maybe from the other angle it might have hit him a little bit with the elbow exactly. See, that's a good shot.
Yeah, he took that in rhythm.
Took it in rhythm. Quick, good shots. Those are great shots in the playoff. You're not going to get the same shots you get in the regular season. And as the series moves on and you move on further in the playoffs, the shot attempts get much tougher.
David Robinson gets it down low. He's fouled as he tries to go into the hoop, and that's going to be on Nowitzki. That's his first personal. 3:10 to go in the first half. Spurs 40, Mavericks 35. Remember, the Mavericks averaged 100 points a game in the regular season, and the Spurs averaged 96.2.
Let's see, in the regular season, you're playing some cupcakes. You're playing teams that don't have their identity. They're trying to find. You're playing teams that just had guys traded. This is the best of the best. Best of the best, you're not going to score 115 points on. You're going to have to really work to put the ball in the basket and really execute if you want to have stops or offensive production.
Robinson gets them both 42-35. Look at the difference in points in the paint. The Mavs doing a little better tonight, I would say. They were down 48-20 coming in here. So they've been getting the ball inside. Now Kerr defending Nash.
See, Nelly thinks that Nash has an advantage on every point guard, which I'm not sure he does, because all that is funneling him into the big guys in the middle, David Robinson and Tim Duncan. So he might not have a clear advantage as you might think he might.
Now Robinson gets it down very low in good position, and the foul is called on Isley. That's his third. 42-35 Spurs, 2:43 to go in the half. Dallas looking for a basket.
A lot of online brokers still process orders the old way, sending them from one middleman to the next. Is your online order routed to get you the best available price? Daytech Online, built to trade.
Our son was studying to be a rocket scientist, but now he has a position here in the stadium. Hey, Dad. Son, I'm so proud. How about serving me up one of those frost-brewed Coors Lights?
Sure, Dad, but first there's something I need from you.
I know, son. I know your mom told me. I have to show you more affection.
You actually need to show me your ID.
What?
21 means 21. No ID, no Coors Light.
But he's old enough to be your father.
Like I haven't heard that one before. It's like the tooth fairy thing all over again.
Remember the A-Team? Now there was an odd bunch of individuals. They always had some cockamamie scheme to get out of a jam. It never sounded like it would work, but of course it always did. Week after week, same time, same channel. Those were my boys. The Ford F-150 Super Crew. built Ford tough.
Daytech's advanced routing technology automatically directs your order in an effort to get you the best available price. Daytech Online, built to trade.
Across the country, their loyal fans have come to see them play. This year, the WNBA is coming to them.
Everybody ready to get on the bus? Yeah! Let's get this show on the road. Come on, y'all.
So come along for the ride and stay tuned for the WNBA's Stories from the Road.
Low-scoring game, 42-35 with 2:43 to go in the first half. And now let's take a look at TNT's all-new original series, Witchblade.
Powered by justice, fueled by evil. Coming this summer, TNT's newest original series, Witchblade.
The all-new original series, Witchblade, comes to TNT June 5th. Nowitzki's time is now, but Dirk is having trouble shooting the ball. He has 10, but his shooting percentage is pretty low. He's 3 of 11. Back to the bench. So it's Nash, Buckner, Isley, Calvin Booth, and Michael Finley on the floor for the Mavericks. David Robinson's been making a living at the free throw line here tonight, and he's been knocking them down. Robinson is only a 64% free throw shooter in this playoffs up till now, but he's 7 of 9 tonight.
Yeah, he's going to go on stretches. David's a good shooter. It was just an early stretch. Even great free throw shooters go on benches where they miss shots. But David, at the end of when it's all over and said and done, he'll be open around 80%.
Calvin Booth goes in, tried to jam on Robinson, and it was rejected.
Top 50, all defense, perennial.
Steve Kerr got Nash running at him, stepped inside, hit the 18-footer, and it's an 11-point Spurs lead. That is the biggest Spurs lead of the game with 2 minutes and change to go in the half. The Mavs have been held to 35 points. Isley trying to find something.
There's no good looks. Every look is contested. There's a hand in your face. You know, it's a difficult situation unless you can create some kind of mismatches against the Spurs.
And Finley gets the loose ball. Actually, Isley did and got it to Finley. And Finley drives and lays it in. Minute 45 to go in the half. Booth out on David Robinson. Lob inside to Tim Duncan, and he draws the foul as he spins into the middle. Malik Rose is coming into the game for the Spurs, and David Robinson will go to the bench with 1:36 in the half. Duncan has 11 tonight. Robinson has 12.
You know what, Bob? If you're looking at this game, you would say that the Mavs aren't down 0-2. You don't see that sense of urgency. You don't see that, even the electricity that the fans, it doesn't seem like they're down 0-2. If they lose this game, this series is over. They better come back with some type of energy in the second half to out-hustle, out-scrap, anything you can do necessarily possible to beat the Spurs. That's why you got some guys, like I said, you got Mark Bryant over there. You got Vernon Maxwell, guys who are playoff tested that maybe could come in and give you that kind of playoff spark because they've been there before, too.
Don Nelson told us before the game, he said to this team, this is the biggest game you've had.
It doesn't look like it.
No.
It doesn't look like they're playing like this is the biggest game that they've seen.
Finley is fouled before the shot, so wave off the basket. That's on Antonio Daniels. Coming up for the AT&T halftime report, Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Mike Dunleavy. Look at our first half. They'll break it down. Reaction from tonight's game between the Raptors and Sixers. AT&T halftime report. Steve Nash had an open look that time and hits the three. That's his second three of this game, and it's an 8-point Spurs lead.
I just hope Charles isn't sitting in my seat because I don't want to be like the Three Little Bears and the lady girl comes in, Goldilocks, and like, my chair doesn't fit anymore.
We know one thing, he's already eaten your porridge. Nowitzki pulls up for three! Back-to-back threes! And that got the crowd on their feet. Spurs by 5, 51 seconds, and San Antonio wants and gets a timeout, 22nd timeout. Dallas, 4 out of 7 from beyond the arc tonight. That's one of the ways they've stayed in this game as well as they have, trailing it by 5. They've also been able to run a bit. Dallas has outscored San Antonio 16-6 on fast break points.
Yeah, that's a good thing what he does. He's able to bring the ball up and then create some opportunities for himself while the defense isn't set. That's going to be big in the second half if the Mavericks want to keep this run going and possibly win this game.
In case you dialed in late, Dirk Nowitzki has been sick since early this morning with food poisoning. Did not eat all day. They had to feed him intravenously before the game. He's also dehydrated, but he's playing. Goes to the bench, sits for a couple of minutes, comes back out on the floor. And the Mavs are on a 6-0 run in just 20 seconds. Nowitzki has 13. Nash on Porter. Nowitzki on Malik Rose. Steve Kerr defended by Buckner. 10 on the shot clock. The motion having some problems, but what do you do when it's running down? Go to Duncan. 2, 1.
That might be his only limit. One limit. 3-point range.
Nowitzki wants the ball now. Gets it back to Finley. Finley tried to pass instead of taking the shot. Tried to go to Booth. Kerr steps in and steals it. 11 seconds to go. 5 seconds for Porter. Got Nowitzki on him. Drives around him. Gets it inside.
Too late.
Is it too late? The buzzer sounds, and you're right, it is. And the Spurs lead it by 5 at the half. They had led by as many as 11. Tim Duncan, 13 points, 11 boards. Robinson, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 21 boards between the two of them. And once again, Duncan and Robinson have a double-double at the half. Let's go to Mark Morgan.
Bob, thank you very much. I'm with one of the Twin Towers. David, again, the Mavs are shooting in the 30s percentage-wise. How is your team able to keep up this defensive intensity game after game?
Well, that's been our strength all year. We've been consistent with our defense, and that's given us a chance to win just about every night. So we're going to rely on that throughout all these playoffs. We've got to play good, solid defense every night.
A few days ago, you won the NBA Sportsmanship Award. In this day and age where attitude and controversy sells, how proud are you to win an award like that? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm so proud. I just think it's a good thing, especially for kids to watch and say, hey, these guys can be successful with the right attitude. They don't have to go out there and, they don't have to, hit somebody upside the head or act crazy all the time. They can come out and they can play hard, they can compete, but at the same time, they do it with respect.
The Mavs have made a little run here at the end of the first half. What are the keys in the second half for you guys to hold them off and grab a stranglehold on this series?
Well, I mean, they're an explosive team in their home, so really the key is getting out to their shooters. I thought they had way too many wide open shots tonight, and if we don't get to those guys, we're going to be hurt tonight.
David, thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, Bob, back to you.
David Robinson, 12 points, 10 boards in the first half. Dirk Nowitzki, sick and all, had 13 points. Finley had 10 to lead Dallas. And now let's go back to Atlanta and Ernie and Charles.
And Mike Dunleavy joining us on the AT&T halftime report.
Go to jail a few times, curse out a few refs. You don't get the sportsmanship award now.
You were under heavy consideration on a yearly basis, though, weren't you?
What do you think I finished in the balloting is the question.
How many guys were in the league then?
Do you think I ever got a vote?
No.
I voted for you, Charles.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
Man, early buzzer on that one. 48-43 at the break. San Antonio 24 minutes away from taking a 3-0 lead in this series. Coach, tell me what has gotten your attention in the first 24 minutes.
I'd be happy if I was Dallas right now. They shoot 36% the first half, and you're in a 5-point game. They can erase that kind of a lead in a heartbeat. So that's something plus for them. Mavericks have only got to the line, made 5 free throws to the Spurs 15. That's a big difference in the game. That comes to the size advantage.
How about San Antonio's performance in the first half here, Charles?
Well, their plan sounded, Kenneth said before the game how the Mavs want to play. Well, first of all, the Mavs want to play one way. They got to turn into a playground game. Right now, it's definitely the tempo favors the Spurs. Unless the Mavericks get it going in a fast court, but they're a streaky team, and right now they're not shooting the ball very well. But I agree with Mike. They got to be very happy that they're down just a couple of points. Because the only way they can win is run a gun. Because in a half-court set, them two big boys are tough to score around the baskets. I don't know the stats because nobody's telling me. But, you know, I bet you the Mavs have not scored many points in the paint.
Taking a shot at research. Man,
you know, that's
alive.
the one area, though, that you looked at them. They ran that pick and roll with 1 and 3, and they were switching Nowitzki and Nash. And Nowitzki was getting the ball in the low post against Avery Johnson and Steve Kerr. I mean, that may be a place to go. And then you got then you got Nash on the outside with that quickness off the dribble and a three-point shot.
Yeah, but I think they're afraid to take the ball to the basket because them two big boys on there. So, but if they make their shots, they'll have the lead.
Dirk Nowitzki, his problems of the day well chronicled by now. He has 13 points on 4 out of 10 shooting. Michael Finley has 10. Duncan, 13 points and 11 boards. David Robinson, 12 points and 10 boards, and it's 48-43 San Antonio. We'll get some stats.
No vote for Sportsman of the Year?
Shocking. When we come back on the AT&T Halftime Report, not Sportsman of the Year, Sportsmanship Award. Game 2 in Philadelphia, the Raptors and the Sixers. And what a night for the answer. We'll be back.
The AT&T Halftime Report is brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
Welcome back to the AT&T Halftime Report. Tomorrow night, Bucks and Hornets playing Game 3 at the Hive in Charlotte. Milwaukee up 2 games to none, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll see you there. Tonight, a little love for Charles Barkley here.
That's sweet, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. At any rate, it's 44-43 at that point, and you see Vince Carter going up top. He had a 28-point night. Larry Brown's guys, though, up by 2 at the half, and then Allen Iverson, he's the whole story. I mean, guard 54, where are you? He had 54 points, Allen Iverson. And the Sixers even the series, 97
I don't know what the question was, but he definitely was the answer.
Oh, for any question that was offered up on this one, he was. 54 he scores, and let's hear from him after the game.
No, I mean, I just think my teammates did a great job tonight, just giving me the ball in the spots where I needed them. And once I got in the rhythm, Coach did a great job recognizing that I was in a rhythm and kept coming back to me. That's just the way it's been all season.
Come back to him they did. 21 out of 39 from the field for his 54 points. Only one other guy on the Sixers in double figures. Eric Snow had 10. They win at 97-92. So Philadelphia dodges big trouble if they had lost 2 straight at home. And I mean, how do you put into words what you saw from Vince? This is incredible playoff stuff.
Well, you know, Charles Oakley was the MVP last series. He's got Vince Carter fired up, and he's on a roll. He's playing terrific. He's playing the way he's supposed to play. But tonight, you just got to shake your head and say Allen Iverson was unbelievable. He scored up. But Toronto should have took the ball out of his hand. You don't let a guy score 18, 20 points consecutively without taking out his hands.
Yeah, Mike, you're a coach. If you're watching this happen and this guy's just absolutely ripping you apart, what do you do?
Well, I think that's the answer right there. Charles had it. Pretty much, you're gonna try and take the ball out of his hands. And you know, with Philadelphia, there are some guys that you may want to have shoot the ball other than Allen. But having said that, I think Toronto's supporting cast, along with Vince, has played extremely well. It was just Allen's energy tonight was incredible. He puts out tremendous effort every single night, but he was putting out the energy and was very efficient.
Played 47 minutes, scored 19 straight points at one stretch. Vince Carter, by the way, 28 points for the Raptors. Did not shoot a free throw. We'll be back with more here on
so you didn't take the ball to the basket.
Exactly right.
They don't foul you on fadeaway threes.
Exactly the point. We've been through that many a time, it seems, when we talk about the Raptors. 48-43, Antonio Daniels into your living room.
With the 512th pick in the NBA fan draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ruth Gilman.
Every time you use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, you could be drafted to an NBA team. If your team goes to the finals, you go too and get a $25,000 signing bonus. Just dial down the center, 1-800-CALLATT. The more you call, the more chances you have to win a trip to the NBA Finals.
Yo, what's up, dog? gentlemen, if you keep dogging it, we're gonna run all night. Now let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's move. That's better. That's looking.
What if stopping was as hard for you
Just run it off. Run it off. Come on, show me some hustle.
as it is for your car?
It's okay.
Treat your car right with new brakes from Pep Boys. Get quality Ray Bestis brakes installed from just $69.99. Because when it comes to brakes,
Oh, it's gonna be a long season.
all you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
$1 billion. That's how much Oracle saved in 1 year using its own e-business software. How much will you save? Oracle. Software powers the internet.
The summer blockbuster season has begun. So hang on for the most exciting ride you'll take all year. The Mummy Returns. Rated PG-13. Now playing everywhere.
Saturday, Julie Foudy and the Spirit invade Atlanta to take on Brianna Scurry and the Beat. Don't miss San Diego and Atlanta. Saturday at noon on TNT. Every player a superhero.
Welcome back to the AT&T Halftime Report. Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, comes your way after the Spurs and the Mavs. Join me and Mike Dunleavy and Charles Barkley. Scores, highlights, all that post-game yakety-yak. All on Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. It is a 48-43 game. San Antonio Spurs on top by 5. We'll be back.
The AT&T Halftime Report has been brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
We got game in 19 days. WNBA.
A lot of online brokers still process orders the old way, sending them from one middleman to the next. Is your online order routed to get you the best available price? Daytech Online, built to trade.
Every touch. A hand. It might seem ordinary, but not when it belongs to Mom. And you'd like to put something extraordinary onto it. Every smile. This Mother's Day, give her K Jewelers special diamond mom's ring for $99.95 and receive a free gift bear. Every hug. And every K diamond is hand-selected for exceptional beauty. Every kiss begins with K. K Jewelers.
All across the country, people have places to go, things to do. So they go Midas for total car care. Need an alignment? We do that. Air conditioning? We do that. Brakes? We do that. Oil changes? We do that. Batteries too. Of course, mufflers. And we do all that with our certified technicians and our nationwide guarantee. So for total car care, who does it all? Midas. We do that.
December 7th, 1941. A date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by the Empire of Japan.
Pearl Harbor, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 25th.
Hey, Peter. Well, how's this? You pay less for every gallon of gas you buy at Mobil when you use a small business card. You know American Express. Say you fill up is 30 gallons, you got 7 trucks, you fill them up a couple of times a week. You'd save over $600 a year just by using this card. So why would you pay any other way?
Every year, we help small business save real money on gas, shipping, travel, and more. What can we do for your business? Call us at 1-800-SUCCESS.
Get inside the non-stop action on race weekend. Get inside the news and highlights. Get inside the teams, fans, and games. Only at the official site of NASCAR. NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Don't miss Mike Myers and Mike Myers in Austin Powers Saturday night at 8 on TNT.
I no longer have to rush home or be at home at a certain time to
to watch my favorite shows.
With TiVo, it's you tell it what program you want to watch, you press a button, and it's done.
TiVo records things automatically for me by my selecting a season pass.
And it will record them whenever they come on, even if they change times.
With TiVo, you're in control of what you're watching.
It's magic.
Learn more at TiVo.com or visit these retailers.
With Daytech Online, most trades are executed in mere seconds. Plus, Daytech pledges to execute your marketable online order within 60 seconds or the commission's waived. Daytech Online, built to trade.
Image is everything.
Jerk.
You lousy jerk.
Jerk.
Jerk. If you get called a jerk 4 times in the same day, does that make it true?
What, only 4? Did you get up late?
Now on his 40th birthday.
Just when I think I've seen the worst in you, when I get the tiniest glimpse of the kid in you.
He'll get a magical chance to rediscover himself. As Russ Duritz, the man,
I know you,
meets Russ Duritz, the kid.
Are you who I think you are?
Russell Morley Duritz.
How'd you know my name?
I'm dreaming!
I don't think you're dreaming, because you're talking and your eye is sort of twitching.
This little boy is me at age 8, and I want you to make him disappear.
Disney's The Kid.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on DirecTV.
TNT. This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use or dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Well, we welcome you back to Studio A in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson and Mike Dunleavy and Charles Barkley. And, you know, I guess we're missing Kenny a little bit tonight here, guys. He's working with Bob Neal. He's in good hands there at Reunion Arena. And, Kenny, just to put you at ease, Mike is sitting in your chair, so it's not getting big and bent out of shape as you were concerned.
I'm trying to figure out, this kid got a tie on. What's Charles doing with a tie on tonight? He's never worn a tie all year.
Once he has, once.
What?
Well,
Leno.
I'm experimenting, Kenny, and I think I look pretty fine, I might add, too.
You look like you back in Auburn, man. Doing graduation day.
Oh. Hey, Kenny, that's not funny.
You got the same, that's that same burgundy suit.
It's draft night all over again.
Hey, Kenny, get used to this threesome right here.
Hey, the road ain't bad, baby. The road ain't bad. There's a lot of things happening on the road that can't come in the studio.
Hey, Bob, is what I told you all true about the Jet?
Oh, absolutely. Everything you said. It has been a load, Ernie, you cannot believe.
Yeah.
He is all he wanted to talk about all day was statistics. We went over.
We know him better than that.
Kenny, I've had you back all night, Kenny.
Hey, Coach, they're sending me these stat sheets. I'm like, all of them. I was like, it's on the floor. It's not on this paper.
Yeah, those were mine.
It's on the floor, man.
You know, I'm dying out here.
Hey, Kenny, people always ask me, do I study and look at all this other stuff? I said, I played basketball for 16 years, and I know you think the same way. There's nothing that's happening out there we haven't seen before.
I'm telling you, I don't need anything to validate but the final score. That's the only score I need to know.
Hey, before we go, guys, if you do have a monitor there, check this out, because we have a shot of Charles on it. Oh, doggone it, it is. There it is for a same suit.
It's the same tie, same suit, everything. All we need is David Stern with a mustache.
Hey, you know what? That's a horrible suit I had on, but I found one that was worse. Did you see Karl Malone when he got drafted?
No, I got to see that one.
You got to see the one Karl Malone had on when he got drafted. Mine was bad, but his was horrible.
I guess you can only wear burgundy ties.
By the way, Charles, you said last night that you dropped like 45 pounds. I see Kenny today, and he says, nah, he's still around 315. That's a report I get here.
I frisked them, and I know what 285 feels like.
Okay.
Guys, have a good second half.
Stay at the fruit table.
All right, we hate to break away from you guys, but a game is about to break out here in Reunion Arena. The Dallas led 2-0 to start the game. Since then, it's been all San Antonio. San Antonio led by as many as 11, and it's a 5-point bulge here, 48-43. And let's go to Mark Morgan and find out about Dirk Nowitzki and how he feels.
That's right, Bob. A few minutes ago, I spoke with Roger Hines, who's the Dallas Mavericks trainer. He said, you know, understandably, Dirk Nowitzki was very weak at the start of the game, but Nowitzki said that once the game got going, he felt a lot better. Said he feels pretty good right now. As we reported earlier, just prior to the game, he had 2 bags of glucose via an IV to kind of get him going tonight. He expects to play his normal minutes in the second half, and it is up to Nowitzki himself to tell Coach Don Nelson if he feels bad, if he feels weak, and if he wants to come out of this game. Bob?
All right, thanks, Mark. We're underway. Nowitzki had 13 points in the first half. It's a 5-point Spurs lead. Opening moments, third quarter from Reunion. Open in the corner is Porter. Misses the 3. Duncan keeps it alive. Bradley has him trapped, gets to Daniels. Now Ferry looked for the 3. Nowitzki steps out on him. Inside to Duncan. Bradley's got 3 personals. Duncan misses the jam, and Bradley caused that to happen. Nowitzki goes to the hoop, misses everything. Howard tried to follow and couldn't get the tip in.
But this is the pace they want. They want up and down. They want possessions where the big guys aren't in the paint, and they can try to make something happen. But then again, when you go up and down, you don't have time to double team Duncan or Robinson. So it's pick your poison. Slow it down where they still get it, or you don't have a chance to double team when you play up tempo. Danny Ferry lost the shoe.
Look at that. That's Danny Ferry without the shoe.
You talk about Shaq calls Tim Duncan the big fundamental, and here's why he's so fundamental. Terry Porter's taking a shot, but look, he's sealing on the weak side on the defensive rebound. Seal his man, tip it out with the correct hand, which is the left hand, keeps it in play, and that's why he's the big fundamental.
So Ferry puts his shoe on, and Sean Elliott comes in the meantime. Finley goes in hard, tried the reverse. He can't get it to go. Nothing inside with Robinson and Duncan. Nothing there.
See, that's Duke. See, Duke guys don't know how to put shoes on really quickly. He was at Carolina, and he went there for 4 years. He would have learned how to put it on and keep playing and not come out the game.
And tie him.
Come on, that's Duke, man. Get out of here.
10 on the clock. Now 8. Duncan finds Elliott. Gets his own rebound. Back to Duncan. For the jam over Bradley.
You're going to block me once, but I learned from my mistakes. Tim Duncan goes to the basket. Strong, 2 hands this time instead of 1.
Spurs back down by 9 now at the opening of this period. And the second chance points, offensive rebounds, 9-1 favor of the Spurs, and they lead by 9.
See, this is not an advantage to them. You're having your best, one of your best ball hands drive into all of this traffic, and the 24-second clock really expired before that shot went out too. That's not an advantage, Steve Nash driving to the basket. He can beat Terry Porter, yes, but he's beating him going into the Duncan and Robinson.
Here's Duncan after having learned his lesson.
Learning, he's going strong, hard. That's how big men go to the basket. That is a big man. When you look up big man in the dictionary, Tim Duncan smiling right there.
Nowitzki trying to get something going, a little more active than he was in the first half, but it won't fall. Spurs could build their biggest lead with a 3 or tie it with a 2. And Duncan gets inside and draws the foul. Speaking of fouls, how about this difference? The free throw story at halftime, San Antonio 15 of 21, Dallas only 5 of 9. San Antonio had shot the penalty the last 10.5 minutes of that quarter. So the difference, how about this? San Antonio 11 points from the field and 11 from the line in the second quarter.
Yeah, the difference is where the position where guys are getting the basketball, where they're trying to score, where the opportunities are coming from. The Spurs, they precisely get the ball in the Duncan and Robinson in the low post, where the Mavericks are penetrating and have to shoot fadeaways over Robinson. So you're not going to get any points in the paint when that happens.
And by the way, that foul on Sean Bradley, that's his 4th. It's a 10-point Spurs lead, 53-43. A rabid crowd here at Reunion to start this game. They have calmed down a lot as the Mavericks have been frustrated constantly. Inside to Bradley. Nice move in the lane.
Great move by Bradley. Finishing strong inside. He's not what he used to be. A guy uncoordinated, not really into it. He plays the game right now.
Finley with the steal. No whistle, no basket. Back come the Spurs. And to Duncan. Duncan to Robinson, and he draws the foul. Nowitzki got in. So there the Mavericks had what they wanted. They got the fast break off the steal, and the transition defense was there.
Yeah, great steal by Finley, but he comes down, and it just got a little bit out of control. I don't even think it was great defense by Antonio Daniels, but the Spurs come back on the other end. They make sure that they get a good fast break opportunity.
The fast break points in the first half, Dallas had 16-6 on San Antonio. But obviously nothing on that attempt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What can you do against the Spurs? You go up and down. David Robinson and Tim Duncan are beating Juwan Howard and Sean Bradley up the floor. So if you're running, that's not an advantage anymore because now they're getting easier baskets.
Finley gets inside, and it's blocked by Duncan. Bradley goes to the hook shot, hits the side of the basket. Spurs have numbers. Porter closed out quickly by Steve Nash.
See, I knew the Spurs were good, Bob, but I didn't realize they're that good because the lanes that look open as a player close so quickly with these two guys that it's incredible. This looks like an easy dunk or a basket. These lanes close so quickly when you play in the Spurs. It's super impressive in person. It's just impressive on television when I watch it in the Studio A with Ernie and Charles.
Antonio Daniels down to the baseline for the short jumper. Spurs back to an 11-point lead, and in this quarter, Dallas is 1 of 9. The only basket was that dunk.
So you talk about the NBA is going zone next year or whatever.
Yeah.
This is a legal zone right here. They don't have, the Spurs won't have to change their defensive intensity or any strategy next year. They can play the same defense and it will work next year, the year after, 10 years from now.
Bradley got the pass from Juwan Howard. 9-point game once again. Gary Porter working on Nash. 10 on the shot clock. Pick and roll with Robinson. They get the switch. Ferry open from the corner. Oh, mercy. And that's a triple. And this is now the Spurs' biggest lead of the game, a lead of 12. And that's the third three for Danny Ferry tonight.
Just shoot it quick. No dribble. Too late. The double team Curry. They knock it out of bounds. You have you're 7 feet tall and you're only 10 feet away from the basket. A guard, even though you're shooting over someone, he's not really there. It's like playing backyard with your son or your nephew. You know, you're just playing around. They're too small to guard you.
Nowitzki's fadeaway doesn't go either, and Robinson is there for the rebound.
So he'd rather take that shot than a shot with Daniels on it. I don't understand.
Ferry rims it out. It's knocked out of bounds by Duncan. 7:07 to go in the third quarter. It was a 5-point halftime game.
Nowitzki's too good, Bob. He's too good to pass up these kind of opportunities because he's going to score when he has those opportunities. So he has to utilize his strength.
Right, they go to Finley against Porter. And Porter fouls him before he gets into the paint. That's 2 team fouls on both teams with 6:54 to go in the period. Avery Johnson checking in for the Spurs. And Porter will sit down. Don Nelson said this is the biggest game of this season and for the career of this team as it's put together right now. And as you pointed out, for most of the game, the Mavericks haven't played with desperation. 10 on the clock for Nash, working with Finley. This Finley has Avery Johnson. Kicks to Nowitzki. Steps in for the 17-footer.
That's a good bucket. See, that's in rhythm. That's his style. That's his shot. That's in rhythm.
10-point game. Now Booth has Duncan. Here comes the double team. Avery Johnson with the drive. Ferry in the corner. Buries another three. Looks as though they could run that all night.
Yeah, you talk about key acquisitions in the offseason. We talked about Derek Anderson. We talked about all these other guys. I think Danny Ferry has been kind of left out as an afterthought, but he's playing big in the playoffs.
Well, Nash has been in the paint twice, nowhere to go with it. Now he's facing David
It's not an
Robinson.
advantage. It's not an advantage coming to play against these guys. And then you're basically you're funneling them into where you want them to go, your best two defenders, and then you get a wide open look.
Daniels passed up the opportunity.
Here's the
for
one.
three.
I'll take that anytime if I'm Popovich. You can miss that. I'll take that anytime.
Ferry, by the way, is 4 out of 7 from threes as it is. 5:30 to go in the period. Nowitzki gets down deep, and he turns away the shot. Tries to go to the reverse. Duncan and Robinson are incredible. There's no way to the hoop. Daniels answers.
This is impressive. It really is. I mean, those are good shots. Those are, but they just make them so tough when you have two big giants there.
15 points. Spurs lead. 5:12 to go in the third.
Beer is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This one's for you. And you and you and you. This one's for you.
Are you near a phone? Can you take down a number? Then call to find out about term life insurance at competitive rates from a respected insurer, Protective Life Insurance Company. A 35-year-old could get a $200,000 policy for less than $14 a month. A 40-year-old could get a $250,000 policy for less than $18 a month. For your free quote, call now. Matrix Direct, 1-800-390-3019.
Okay, which one's better, 1 or 2?
That would be 2.
Good. Now, 1 or 2?
2 again.
All right. Now, better 1 or 2?
Definitely 2.
Want to see big savings on replacement contacts? Call Lens Express. You call us, we call your doctor. You save up to 50% off the retail price. For name brand contacts, just like the doctor ordered, call 1-800-LENS-EXPRESS. Superhero.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Budget, who has a variety of great rental cars for people who like renting great cars. And by Honda Motorcycles, Honda's deals to move on. Now's the time to get the world's best deals on the world's best bikes.
Welcome back to Reunion. This is action in the land of the trees.
Yeah, these guys are funneling into where the two best defenders, 2 out of the top 10 defenders are. Nowitzki normally, the last series against Utah, no shot blocker, those are baskets. Tonight, it's frustration.
Biggest lead of the game for the Spurs, 64-59. Nowitzki goes to get another rest.
Nowitzki, though, does look a lot more lively than he did early in the game. You know, you look at these stats with the big four, so to speak. You know, these are decent numbers going through 3 quarters, but no one is having that big breakout game to really put you in contention for this win.
San Antonio has 4 blocks in the game. Duncan 2, Robinson 1, Sean Elliott has 1. Got an offensive foul. It's going to be on Calvin Booth away from the ball. That's his 3rd. The coaches, Greg Popovich and Don Nelson, have been quiet tonight. There really hasn't been anything to discuss.
If I'm Greg Popovich, I don't have to say much. My guys are playing great defense. They've executed.
They're going to get Calvin Booth again on that, holding Duncan coming across the middle.
We might see some early ejections if this game continues the way it is, because I wouldn't want to stay around and see this.
It's 4 now on Booth, and Bradley comes back in, and Bradley is carrying 4 fouls as well.
They're going to foul the whole team out, basically, because there's no answer for what they do. Now, Danny Ferry's hitting the outside shot, so it's really extending the defense as well. You're in trouble.
Greg Buckner in for Dirk Nowitzki. 4:51 to go in the third period. 14 on the shot clock for the Spurs. Finley on Daniels. And Daniels hits the three. It's an 18-point Spurs lead. And the Spurs have outscored Dallas this quarter 19-6. They're on an 8-0 run. Can't find anything. Finley double team. Who's there? Nobody. Juwan Howard. He runs into Duncan. He loses the ball. It's 3-on-2 to Malik Rose. The lob.
And see, this is the point in the game, Bob, where you say, you know what? Either we're going to just go ahead and think about the summertime, or we're going to fight back and try to make something happen. You'll see really what these Mavericks are made of internally to try to see what we're going to do.
Wondering, Don Nelson said he might get some play out of Wong Juju tonight. Eduardo Najera.
No, you can't put Juju in this kind of situation when you're down 20. You know, I'd be really surprised if you go with him. You can't go with these. These guys are not battle tested, and I don't think it's fair to them to put them in a situation to say, hey, you got to be the spark to come back. I still go back to Bryant and Maxwell. These guys, if they don't do well, it won't shock their confidence.
So now Nowitzki's back. Juwan Howard sits down, and Sean Elliott's on the floor for the Spurs. Coming up Friday night on TNT, doubleheader. We'll start out with Game 3 between the Sixers and Raptors as the series shifts to Toronto. That's tied at 1 now. Then the Lakers look to take a commanding 3-game lead in their series as they head to Sacramento to face the Kings. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern on TNT. 19-point lead for San Antonio. Since the half, Dallas has scored 6 points. Johnson missing his jumper. Finley with a rebound.
My.
Yet another turnover, and they turn it back. And then they turn it back. Good grief. Malik, Duncan,
good pass.
Rose.
Good defense on Bradley's part. Got to dunk on Bradley. That's the, you got to dunk on him.
Greg Buckner's inside. He draws the foul. That's the 4th team foul on the Spurs, so Dallas will be shooting from here on in. They'll shoot this one because he was in the act. Resting on the bench, Porter, Robinson, Danny Ferry. Steve Nash going to come back into the game in a moment for the Mavs. And Finley's going to get a brief rest. Finley led the league in minutes played, and he's certainly at the top in the playoffs in minutes played. But he has not been able to be effective at all in this series, even though he's been high scorer. 69-52, 3:15 to go in the third quarter. Elliott gets past Buckner. Malik Rose. Nowitzki defending him. Avery Johnson. 5 on the shot clock. Elliott. 3 on the clock. 2. Daniels beat the buzzer but missed the shot. These Maverick fans looking for something, anything. Just see how quickly Elliott closed on Isley. Into Bradley. 7
Sean
points
playing
for
a really good game tonight. He really is.
Bradley has 7 in the quarter. 69-54, 2:37 in the third.
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good!
Let's do it.
These guys don't look so tough.
Heads up.
I got your back. On your left.
Go.
I'm hot, baby.
Time to go for a spin.
Gatorade. Bring your game to life.
I'll take the big guy.
Which big guy?
It's called life, liberty, and the pursuit of whatever. The 2001 Lincoln Navigator. It's never business as usual. American luxury just got better.
Ask your doctor about Nasonex with moisturizing glycerin, taken once a day for nasal allergy relief due to pollens, molds, dust, and pets, day or night. Sleep on it. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing. Nasonex. Fewer sneezes, fewer worries.
You can climb over mountains, cross the widest deserts, but there's only one place you'll find deals like these. Your Honda dealer. Now with your Honda card, get no down payment on all our new ATVs and low monthly payments as low as $79 on the Rancher for the first 2 years. And now, only through May 31st, you can also get Honda bonus bucks on any new ATV. Deals to move on. It's time to move.
Bucks in front by 12. Allen hard to the hole and dunked the ball right on the head of Eddie Robinson. Wow! Look out below. Hide your women and children. Sound the emergency broadcasting system. Seek shelter. Ray Allen is dunking. Good gosh, what a throwdown.
You know, I thought that was exciting. You'd think the announcer could be excited. Ray Allen with 27, Mashburn 21, but look at Charlotte's threes. 11% on threes. Game 3 tomorrow night, 8 Eastern on TNT. 15-point Spurs lead. How about that back cut by Elliott and the foul and the pass from Avery Johnson?
The little general. You know, Avery babysits my kids sometimes. He's a good guy. You got to talk good about him. Let's talk good about him. Right. Avery Johnson brings the ball on the left side of the court. Sean Elliott fakes up and great pass by Avery. Avery was the difference in that.
Avery's 3.5 points, 6 assists, 20 minutes in the playoffs to get things back to reality here. He has 5 assists,
block.
no turnovers. Loose ball foul. Going to be on Nash. 72-54 Spurs. Take a look at this. 1 of 11 the rest of the Mavericks. Bradley's 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Sean is playing a good game tonight, but overall, it's not really the rest of the team. It's just the type of shots that are available against the Spurs. And the type of shots that are available are tough shots. They haven't figured out a way to get 3 or 4 good, consistent looks in a row. They get 1, and then they go on a 5-shot drought. They have to figure out a way to get 3 to 4 good looks. They don't even have to go in, but good looks give you confidence. Because when you miss shots, even though it's a good shot, your confidence is still there.
Finley's going to check back in a moment. Michael has 10 points, but 0 for 4 for no points in this period. Here's Bradley. Yep, that's it. The go-to guy has become Sean Bradley.
2 minutes remaining in the period.
Duncan can't handle it. It'll be Mavs ball. Nowitzki's going to sit down, and Finley's back in. Nowitzki has 15 in the game. Told you Finley has 10, none in this period. Nobody else has scored much of anything to speak of for the Mavs. Finley hurried the shot, missed it all. It's a 20-point Spurs lead, biggest of the game. Ten on the shot clock. For Malik Rose. Spins inside of Isley and gets it over Bradley, and it's a 22-point lead.
Hey, I want to see the Spurs go in the next round and play the Los Angeles Lakers, because if you can play the Lakers the same way, I'm not counting. Yeah, I'm counting you out, Sacramento. But it's going to be a very interesting series in the final Western Conference Final.
No confidence on shooting at all by the Mavericks because somebody's in their face all the time. You saw Isley miss that short runner. 53 seconds to go in the third period. Down to Avery Johnson. Points in the paint for A.J.
Yeah, Avery does a great job. He doesn't stay on that perimeter too often when they double team off of his man. He goes, he finds seams to the basket so he can get easy put in.
Nash gets it to Bradley again.
Good move, Sean. That's a good move. That's a good move. Just didn't go. See, but this is the big fundamental. 7 feet. Handling the basketball behind the back. Between the legs. Your 5'11" guys can't do that.
Flop by Nash. Lee Bros called for traveling. It'll be Mavs ball.
That's a very fortunate traveling call because Steve Kerr would have hit, and he did, hit that shot. A wide open 3 for Steve Kerr.
This was a 5-point game at the half. It's 24 now.
Here he is. His head is up behind the back. Isley, point guard, excuse me. I'm going the other way. This guy is the big fundamental, but he is everything that you want in a basketball play.
Steve Nash gets inside, and Bradley goes down hard trying to follow. Loses it out of bounds. He's all right. Spurs ball. 11 seconds in the period. Spurs on a 9-0 run. Mark Cuban not enjoying himself tonight, the owner of the Mavs. Matter of fact, I think he's suffering.
Well, you know, that Mavs have had a great season. I mean, this is only game 3, but they've had a great season, but it's matchups about playoffs. So you just matched up against a team that you don't play well against.
78-54, timeout on the floor.
It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Dallas days and Fort Worth nights. Well, all day long he sets his sights on ice cold beer and neon lights. Sky high beams to bucket machines. He's a single man with a double life. Dallas days and Fort Worth nights.
Back to the Big D. They're very sad in the Big D at the moment. They need some of that Texas blues. They've already got the blues, actually. Duncan tries to go inside, and Bradley stops him. 2 seconds. Finley would have counted at the buzzer. 24-point lead for the Spurs. 30-11. San Antonio outscored Dallas that quarter. Dallas 4 of 23 in the period. It's a whooping.
So the detective said the butler didn't do it. It was. My book! Let's go, Rick. Where's that page? I've got to finish my book. Hello, sir. Can you please tell me how your book ends? No! Now I'll never know. Brick! Oh, Brick, look what I've got. Good dog.
Louisiana, see my Louisiana, sing Polly Doodle all day. Oh, a grasshopper sitting on a railroad track, sing Polly Doodle all day. Picking his teeth with a carpet tack, sing Polly Doodle all day. Very well, very well, very well, very well, my fairy fay. For go to Louisiana, see my Louisiana, sing Polly Doodle all day.
Now, Sprite.com makes it easier to buy just about anything you want. Under every cap is a free Sprite or Rocket Cash. Online money you can use through Sprite.com. Drink Sprite, get Rocket Cash. Buy what you want.
Rules. What rules? It's called life, liberty, and the pursuit of whatever. 2001 Lincoln LS, it's never business as usual. American luxury just got better.
I need a car.
Shopping for a used car will never be the same.
No, a convertible, a red one, with under 15,000 miles.
Welcome to Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
You couldn't help me with a loan, could you? Can we help you?
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Perfect Drive is our best rewards program. After just 4 rentals, our customers get everything from golf clubs to ski goggles.
Even spa treatments. What if we also throw in a personal trainer?
Hi, I'm Todd.
Hi.
Today we're gonna work glutes. Walnut? Personal trainer seems a bit much. Yeah.
The rewards program is perfect.
Yeah, people love free stuff.
Let's take a look at our budget fast break stats. Dallas, 18-11 in fast break points. They lead, and that's about the only thing. 11 of 19 for Spurs, 4 of 22 field goals for Dallas. The free throws, tremendous differential. And here's the only Mav with big game. Gets the reverse to go.
I give her 8 for style points, and I add the 2 just for height. So she gets a 10.
You're talking about the little girl, right?
Exactly. You know where my mind is. My mind is strictly basketball. I'm a basketball machine.
You're driving me crazy with all the stats and basketball talk all day. Finley driving on Elliott. He has the double clutch. It still doesn't go, and Robinson gets the rebound.
It's a 3-on-2 right now.
Kerr. Elliott. Right past Bradley. 26-point. Spurs lead. Finley just shut down by Sean Elliott. Sean looking quick. Bradley goes in, misses everything. Malik Rose with a rebound.
Well, you know, Don Nelson really was a prognosticator when he said that he will play Juju tonight. He will play him a lot now.
In a couple of minutes.
He'll get the rest of the quarter. Him and Nahara. There's Nahara coming in the game.
Robinson gets it from Kerr. 28 points. Spurs lead. It was 5 at the half.
I'm a still Charles. What did Charles always say in the studio? This game is like Ernie's prom date. Ugly.
And the foul before the basket. Don, what are you going to do? You know, here's Nahara coming into the game. Eduardo Nahara, the second Mexican-born NBA player. Ratio Lamas, the first one.
Lamas for Phoenix.
Yeah. Eduardo's 6'8" from Oklahoma. He's a rookie. 10 on the clock. 8-7. Nash trying to do something with Avery Johnson. He gets it high off the glass. It won't fall. Nahara bringing some energy, but he can't get it down. He tips it in.
He was starting early in the season, so obviously Don Nelson does have confidence in him. But you know, the playoffs is a different story, and down the stretch was a different story. But after I think he had a slight injury, but he has confidence.
Avery Johnson misses. Here comes Nahara. It's 3-on-3 behind the back. Look at Eduardo off the glass. Whoa, baby! All he's got to do now is lead a 24-point comeback in 9:38.
But you know what he's doing? He's setting himself up for Game 4, because now he's going to be a guy that Don Nelson said, you know what? He came in. He didn't give up. He didn't quit. He came in. I could use him in Game 4.
In a minute, he has 4 points and 3 rebounds.
And a foul.
He's filling up the column.
See, he's just saying, you know what? I got to make something happen. I got to go to the basket and make something happen. He's been sitting on the bench and noticing when his team has been scoring, when they have not been scoring.
Avery to the hoop. It rims out. Follow miss by Malik Rose. Look at that spin move. 4 on 3. Finley. And Kerr commits the foul. Wow, how about Eduardo Nahara?
I know Don Nelson is kicking himself right now, saying I should have put him in the first half. Maybe we wouldn't be down early in the third quarter because this guy's making it happen. He's just saying, you know what, I'm going all out the whole play. He's playing with a sense of urgency, saying this is the biggest game of my life. He's playing like this.
The rest of the team, Finley 0 for 7 this half. Nowitzki 1 of 5. Howard no points, 0 for 3. Nash no points, he's 0 for 3. That's the drought. Avery Johnson runs out on Finley. He gets it in the paint, going to try the fall away. Look at it! Booth is tipping. Loose ball, it won't go down. That's about 5 rebounds now for Nahara. It's exactly 5 rebounds in a minute and a half.
So if he played 48 minutes.
Well, that would be that'd be about 200 rebounds. Somewhere around 200.
This kid is not bad.
200 plus.
He can play for any team I know.
Yeah. And Calvin Booth hits it, and it's a 24-point Spurs game. Yeah, I probably expect to see some other players getting in here pretty quickly.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's gonna slow down though. I don't think he'll get 200 rebounds. I really believe that.
Well, he's not. Here's the problem. He's not going to get 48 minutes in this game. That's the only.
That's the problem.
AJ with the drive. Robinson with 2 on the clock. The turnover. Finley against Elliott and Kerr. He misses it and loses it to Avery Johnson, and Robinson is cherry picking. Remember that term?
Yeah, I know that term very well. Cherry picking was like my 2 favorite words that I ever used to put together.
Nash with the left hand and the foul. And you put words together so well. 7:42 to go in the game. Spurs by 24.
I'll be right out. Let me just put this Bud Light away. Hey, Otto. Come on.
Honey, where's Otto? Otto? Otto?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Every Tuesday, see the story of a woman who started out a cop and became something more.
What are you? Justice.
Witchblade, the original series. Tuesdays at 9 p.m. beginning June 5th, only on TNT.
They fight for the middleweight crown to be part of history. Felix Trinidad to join the legends. William Joppy to stop him. Trinidad's undefeated but untested as a middleweight. Joppy's defending his crown for the 8th time. Only one gets a shot at the undisputed middleweight world championship and a place in boxing history. Trinidad versus Joppy, May 12th, live on Direct Ticket. Don't miss this historic match live on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View Channel 101. Only one can make history.
Who are you people?
They stole his identity.
You had me cloned.
They stole his family.
I lost my wife, my daughter, my whole life tonight.
They made a big mistake.
What are you gonna do? Take my life back.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Sixth Day.
Cloned this.
This month on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on Direct TV.
Fire.
Welcome back to Reunion Arena. I'm Mark Morgan along with former Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman. And Troy, at any point have you second-guessed your decision to retire?
Not at all. Not at this point. But, you know, I know when the fall rolls around and on Sundays I'll miss it.
You're now going into the broadcast booth to work with our own Dick Stockton. Are you looking forward to educating him about the NFL?
Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to working with Dick. It'll be a great experience.
You're a virtual lock for the Hall of Fame with the 3 Super Bowl rings. Have you thought about that? And what will that mean when you're inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, if that were to happen, it'll mean a lot. I've not given it any thought. I think it would be you know, it's such a sacred group of guys that I'd be honored to be involved in it. But I don't think anybody can give it that much thought.
Troy, thanks a lot. Good luck.
I appreciate it.
All right, Bob, back to you.
Thank you, Mark. 86-63, a 23-point game now with 7:35 to go. Still no substitutions in terms of clearing the bench for either team. Shot clock to 8 for Kerr, driving on Isley. Berry, 4 on the clock for Robinson. Rebound to Steve Nash. Tried to get Booth down on the baseline, picked off. Here comes Avery Johnson. The rabid crowd here at Reunion is diminishing. A lot of green seats up there.
Yeah, it's hard to be boisterous when there's no one here with you because people are finally realizing that the Spurs are just too tough tonight.
Well, the way they've been looking in this series, you know, I'm sure the Spurs, when they were waiting for the winner of the Utah-Dallas series, were saying, you know, who would we rather play? I don't think it mattered.
No, it doesn't. You know, the Spurs present problems for so many different teams, with maybe the exception of the Lakers, in terms of they really have so big a clear advantage inside, where the Lakers are basically the only team left in the West that have guys that really on both ends of the court with Shaq can really neutralize Duncan and Robinson.
6:52 to go with Greg Buckner getting a lot of playing time tonight. Finley's going to go for the 3. Finley shooting the last 2 games has been he's been taking the shots very quickly. It's been off a great deal. He's not rimming them out. He's missing everything. Robinson gets inside a Booth. 25-point lead.
I know Tim Duncan's not coming back in the game. I don't think so. I wouldn't put him back. This game is over.
Duncan has 18 points to go with 14 rebounds.
Yeah, Popovich is pulling him back. It doesn't make any sense. He's already. You can't kill someone that's already dead. You can't do it.
Well, Don Nelson said in the papers, a lot of people thought he was just posturing, but Don Nelson said, and accurately so as it turns out, he says, we just don't have a team that's good enough to beat the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know how we're going to win it.
Well, how would you win it is that you would play an up-tempo game and you would make shots from the perimeter. They've done neither. They haven't gotten into the up-tempo game and they haven't got perimeter.
And Wang Zhizhu comes into the game. The Chinese national.
Not a bad player. He really isn't. He has some offensive skills. Now, normally he's coming in the game in this kind of situation, so it's really tough to see how good he is because he's going to be playing against the second-tier guys.
Well, his salary is prorated at $28,000 for the regular season. He's going to be making $465 next year.
Rules. What rules? It's called life, liberty, and the pursuit of whatever. The 2001 Lincoln Navigator. It's never business as usual. American luxury just got better.
Hi, this is my house. I love cheese, as you can see. I just get so excited when I'm around cheese. Cheddar England, ground zero for cheddar lovers.
If you love cheddar, nothing's more delicious than Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
For the man who put the 2 E's in cheese, Dave Thomas, the big cheese.
Come try one today.
The Schick Extreme 3. Triple blade performance. Pivoting head, and after a bunch of great shaves, you just toss it and serve up another. Schick Extreme 3.
Schick. Shave something.
With the 512th pick in the NBA fan draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ruth Gilman.
Every time you use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, you could be drafted to an NBA team. If your team goes to the finals, you go too, and get a $25,000 signing bonus. Just dial down the center, 1-800-CALLATT. The more you call, the more chances you have to win a trip to the NBA Finals.
Yo, what's up, dog?
We're not frustrated. It's more anger. We're upset that, we let 2 games slip away. Had we played better, how we did the things that we're capable of doing. But now, we're at home. We feel comfortable, and, we're going to come out and we're going to play hard and, win Game 3.
That's tomorrow at 8 Eastern on TNT. As you see, the Bucks lead 2-0. The Philadelphia-Toronto series tied at 1 as Philadelphia got the win tonight. Let's check in with Mark Morgan.
Bob, apparently Dirk Nowitzki's night and day and the food poisoning has finally caught up with him. He's left the Mavericks bench. He's in the dressing room. One Mavericks official told me he's got nothing left in the tank, and he is done for the evening.
Literally nothing left in the tank. Well, there's Nash and Finley. They look shell-shocked.
Hey, Mark, I could have told you he was done for the evening, though. He was done a long time ago.
88-65. Spurs. Kerr with the drive. Elliott with the 3. 91-65. By the way, Michael Finley is out of the game also. He went 0 for 10 this half.
He has nothing left in the tank.
Juwan Howard, see if he has anything in the tank. Buckner hits the 3. Greg Buckner. He's a key part of this Dallas team. He missed 5 weeks, nearly 6 weeks, with his dislocated kneecap. Just in his 3rd year from Clemson, and he's an excellent defensive player, Kenny.
Yeah, he's a great defender, but he's a great perimeter defender, and that's not where the Spurs have their strength. They have their strengths on the inside, so his defensive ability is negated.
I was looking ahead to next year. Nahara tried to hand it to Wang Zhuju, and it's out of bounds off the Spurs. Time for our American Express leaderboard as you look at Robinson and Duncan. Duncan, 22. Mutombo, 22 in terms of single game rebound leaders. And Shaq had 21 in Game 1 versus Sacramento. Howard still can't get it. He's fouled by Ferry. Both Robinson and Duncan on the bench. And by the way, Juwan Howard, 0 for 6, no points since the first quarter.
Yeah, he had a great start of the game. It looked like he was going to be the energy player. And I thought he really kind of looked like he said, you know what, if Nowitzki's out, I'm going to take some more opportunities. But, he slowed up.
Yeah, he had 6 points in the first quarter. Nothing since then until this trip to the line.
He didn't really look to take shots either. In the first quarter, he was being aggressive. He was actually breaking the offense to get some shots. And in the second and third, and now in the fourth quarter, this is the first time he's really looked to touch the ball and say, I'm going to do anything with it.
He has an unusual release on his shot. You being the king of
oh, my God. His shot is straighter than mine, which is hard to do. And he has a line drive shot. Mine had the line drive and the crazy rotation, so I might have to win on the ugliest looking jumper, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't ugly when it was swishing, however.
My high school coach, Jack Curran, used to say, as long as it goes in, it doesn't matter how, the best looking jumper is the one that goes in.
94-70, 4:15. Isley from long range. It's garbage time now. Now, these two teams will play on Saturday back here at Reunion Arena. That game will be on NBC. We'll be back on Monday if Dallas were to get a win.
Well, we won't. Okay.
Make your reservations. That's why they play it. And all those things you say when it's like this. The Porter hit a triple. He comes right back with that jumper.
Do we have a good movie for Monday night?
Yeah, I'm sure. Hoops. Hoop dreams. Nahara.
You got to play him in Game 4. You have to.
96-76, 3:34 to go from Reunion.
For the first time on network television, you're nothing to me. Another dead vampire. Watch Wesley Snipes in Blade. See the network television premiere Sunday, May 20th on TNT.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Bush.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me
that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
It's here, waiting for you. Inside is unlimited strength and power. It builds confidence and reshapes your body. It can change everything. This is Bowflex, an entire gym in one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance, all in the convenience of your own home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Bowflex is real. The results are real. The question is, are you ready for Bowflex? For a free video and brochure, call or go online at bowflexdirect.com. Do the research, listen to real customers, then place your order online and get started. Bowflex. Who said change isn't easy? TNT.
You can't go down 3-0 against this team. It's almost impossible to come back from 3-0. So, other than that, I mean, we got to go out there and play the game, play it hard, still have fun, and play the best of our ability, which we haven't done yet.
Coming up inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, Ernie Johnson, Mike Dunleavy, and Charles Barkley in the studio. They'll have tonight's scores and highlights, break down this game, although this game broke down quite a while ago.
You got to be a real expert to break down this one. It's a lot of breaking down.
That was blocked by Nahara. What else is he going to do? Buckner gets the break.
Game 4.
Yes, he is. Get some burn. Here is Isley with the 3.
See, like, a lot of people would really think this is garbage time. But this is a time that you can kind of see who has some rhythm going into game 4. Obviously, Isley and obviously Nahara. Those are 2 guys that now have moved up in the rotation come game 4.
Not bad defensive play that time by Wong Juju as Samaki Walker took it to the roof. And there's Juwan Howard. That's his first point since the first quarter.
It's a 15-point game. I mean, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. If Reggie Miller was in the building, I might feel a lot more comfortable if I was the Dallas Mavericks. But he's not here tonight.
Malik Rose being defended by Howard. 5 on the shot clock.
What was that with Reggie? 9 points in 8 seconds?
Yeah.
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs.
Wow.
In New York.
In New York, on the road.
I was going to say it forever. Forever was his trademark, but he keeps establishing new trademarks.
Yeah, no question.
Knocked out of bounds off Isley with 2 on the shot clock for the Spurs.
A lot of times you sit around, guys, even former players or when you're players talk about which guy would you give the ball to with 3 seconds left in the game. Reggie Miller. Well, everyone says what you say, with Jordan not included. Jordan always gets the that's the buy. Jordan's the buy. But after that, you got to go with it.
Rebound Juwan Howard. And he's fouled. You see the difference. Of course, it's pretty obvious when Duncan and Robinson aren't in there. There's opportunities inside for the Dallas Mavericks. So Juwan has 10 in the game. Here's Greg Popovich. Ejected in game 1. Talking to Terry Porter. Of course, you know that Popovich was an assistant with Don Nelson back in 92 to 94 at Golden State, and with Larry Brown in 88-92 when he was at San Antonio. Coming up tomorrow night on TNT, the NBA playoffs continue starting at 8. Game 3 between the Bucks and the Hornets. The series moves to Charlotte. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern on TNT, and tomorrow in our studio will be the NBA Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's interesting.
You want to let us in on that? You want to let us in on that?
See, normally I would know by now because I would have known what flight arrangements we made to get someone in. But now I'm in the dark just like everybody else.
Yeah, well, you're out here in Never Never Land like the rest of us, wandering nomads.
I'm going to go on the limb. I'm going to say that there's 2.
Well, 2, that's not a limb.
No, I'm going to say there's 2 guys. That doesn't normally happen. that two guys get the Rookie of the Year.
You're talking about
co-rookie of the year. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying there's going to be two guys in our studio.
And they are?
I'm going to go with Miller.
Yeah, Mike Miller.
And Martin.
Okay, that's...
I say it's a co-rookie of the year.
Do you know something?
No, I have no idea. This is just on my great basketball knowledge.
And intuition.
There's my main man, Avery. Got babysitting duty this summer. Get ready. The kids got better. They got worse.
He's going to be having you do the babysitting.
They got worse.
Trying to find the three. Nahara! You're right. He's going to be running and burning and playing.
He's going to be the first substitution, not Buckner. I mean, Buckner did a good job as well. But then he's giving you offense and defense.
Juwan Howard still hustling here late in the game, but commits the foul. The Mavs have cut it to 13 with the subs on the floor for the Spurs. Miller and Martin, co-rookies of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
All right.
Definitely what I'm going to go with.
Well, if so, they'll be in the studios tomorrow.
I'll be there with them. I'm in the studios.
Our promo said rookie of the year, though.
Yeah.
Let's see if Malik is
that's
all right.
tough.
He hit hard.
That was a tough hit right there.
It's Juwan Howard again also. Now Juwan going over to talk to Malik Rose.
You know what? I mean, Juwan is not really a shot blocker, so he's not really doing these things on purpose. What happens is Malik Rose jumps higher than him, so when he's going for the block, he's only going to be on his arm. Same thing with Derek Anderson. Juwan, if you know, traditionally does not have a reputation as being a hard foul or a dirty player at all. But see, he's going after it. Oh, wow, that's very similar to Derek Anderson.
Not yet.
But he's going for the ball, and he just doesn't jump high. He's not an athlete.
It's a flagrant foul one. The Spurs bench.
He's telling Malik right now, he's like, you know, I wouldn't try to hurt you. You know, especially what happened after the first time. But Juwan Howard, to be honest, cannot jump well. So when he goes for blocks, he's on people's arms all the time. Juwan is a skill player, not really an athlete.
Popovich getting the explanation up at half court for the call. It was a flagrant one.
I'm just glad that he's not hurt, because I don't think that reputation should follow Juwan as being a dirty player.
And you know, in the papers across the country, for people who don't see the flagrant foul again late in the game, will probably start thinking it was.
Those are people who are really not paying attention to the real game and what's been going on, not only tonight, but in a career of someone. Guys don't become bad guys or dirty players overnight. That's something that you build over a career through high school, college. You don't change. And I can understand why the Spurs are upset, though. You know, all right, you don't jump well, so stop trying to block shots.
Kerr goes for the three and gets it. NBA all-time leader in three-point percentage. Steve Kerr makes it 104-86. Yeah, let's take one more look at this Juwan Howard foul.
Okay, he's going up, he's going hard, he's going for the ball, but he is nowhere near the peak of what Malik Rose is. But you don't want to be dunked on. Why would you allow yourself to be dunked on? So you have to go after that if you're a 6'10", 6'9" big man.
Which Howard is. This is Juwan Howard's first playoff series. But he was with the Wizards.
Yeah, you're with the Wizards. Obviously, you're not going to be in the playoffs until maybe next year. Right, Charles? Yeah, they weren't even the Wizards. They were the Bullets.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go home in a minute 12? Can I go home? I mean, do I have to wait this last minute?
You're here. You're here till I'm gone. And I'm not leaving for another minute.
We kind of know what's going on. I just want to get back to the hotel so I can see what Charles and Ernie say about it.
You may have to sit here to hear that one. Or they may not even talk about it.
No, they will.
Malik Rose tries a three.
They missed it. His shoulder still hurt. He can always blame that one. He said, my shoulder's hurt.
Yeah.
That's why I shot the air ball.
Well, this has been ugly from the get-go. 104-88 Spurs. Dallas shooting 34%, and they shot 34% in game 2. Dallas was at one point at 29% tonight.
You notice, like I said, you got 2 energy guys, Buckner and Nahara, that you know you can count on in game 4, but I think it's too late. Oh, he's going to try it again. I know. He's a smart move. He's a veteran. I love smart veterans.
Elliott kicks it to Rose, who gets it back to Elliott, who steps out of bounds.
I'd rather turn it over than shoot an air ball.
19.
Any day. Give me 10 turnovers instead of 10 air balls. Any day.
Nahara is going to take it. 13 seconds. This will just be dribbled out, in this game will mercifully come to an end. The Spurs really exhibited their dominance as the Dallas Mavericks shoot 34%, score 90, and those were most, the last 15 points came when the game was basically all over. The 30-11 third quarter run by the Spurs really did it in tonight. Dirk Nowitzki, who had been ill, had 15 points, 5 of 15. Buckner had 14 and 12 coming off the bench. Fenley 10 points, 0 for 10 in the second half. And let's go over to Mark Morgan. Mark.
Bob, thanks very much. I'm here with Sean Elliott. Another solid defensive effort by your club. What is it like for you people on the perimeter to know if you make any kind of defensive mistake, Duncan and Robinson are waiting under the goal?
It's a huge cushion for us. There's no question about it. But at the same time, we at least try to stop the guys from penetrating. If we do that, we make them work. Then they got to go answer to the 2 big people, and that's tough to do.
Your team had the best record in this league during the regular season. You had an 8-game winning streak. You had a 9-game winning streak. But right now, what is the level of play of this? Is this the best this team's played this season?
Oh, no, and it's not even close. I mean, the first half was so sloppy. We went in the locker room up by 5, and really we were disappointed. We should have had a double-digit lead going in at halftime. We were sloppy. We turned the ball over numerous times. We missed some defensive assignments. So there's no question we can get a lot sharper.
How do you keep from looking ahead to the next series now that you're only 1 win away?
Well, we've been through it before, and we know that this Dallas team is capable of coming back. It's going to be tough. Obviously, they're down 3-0, but, you know, we've been here before. We know how to put teams away, and we're not going to come in here and sleep on Saturday.
Sean, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.
All right, Bob, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mark. And Kenny the
fun,
Jet,
man.
we've had close games through these whole playoffs.
Right. I'm the blowout king.
I don't know what you brought here.
I'm the blowout king. So last game time we went to Toronto, it was a blowout. When I come here, it's a blowout. The blowout king.
Back to Atlanta.
Back to Atlanta in the studio. It's been fun. No question. I mean, you get out, you get to see people. I got Damon Jones, the guys here from the Vancouver Grizzlies. You see Robert Pack. It's fun being on the road. You see all these guys.
Yeah, well, we're sending you back to the studio, but I welcome you back anytime. Just don't send Charles.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to bring some donuts because there's a lot in the studio. I'll bring some donuts on the road next time with me.
Kenny the Jet Smith working with us tonight. The final score 104-90. For the Jet, Mark Morgan, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Dallas, Texas. After this short break, we'll head to Atlanta where Ernie Johnson and the guys are standing by.
God bless Texas.